All right, guys, welcome in. Welcome to Fox 5 Live on YouTube. Today we're on Facebook because, of course, whenever we're on Facebook, that means the threat for snow is in the forecast, and that's exactly what we have going into tomorrow morning. However, you're one of the 200 and 300 people we have in the Facebook room. I want to emphasize this right now. How big of a deal is this snow? It's probably not a very big deal. We just don't want it to surprise anybody. If you're waking up early tomorrow morning, you're getting the kids off to school, you're heading to work, and there's a little bit, and I mean a little bit of snow coming down. Don't want it to surprise anybody. Is it going to get you out of work, out of school? I doubt it. I really do doubt it this time. Last week we had a similar event. Half an inch of snow closed a lot of schools, and then the next day we were talking about how upset everyone was that they actually closed schools for such a minor event. I think this time, last time we had some cold air around first, so the ground was cold. This time we're not going to have a whole lot of cold air. I mean, outside right now it's well above freezing. We were 60 degrees on Saturday. We were near 60 yesterday. The ground temperature is warm, and in my mind, this snow that's coming through is not going to be heavy enough to do anything but maybe coat the grass in a few spots. And I don't think everybody is going to get a coating. I think the snow's just going to hit and melt. Please understand, I don't think it's going to be a major event here tomorrow. Let's rock and roll. I will kind of go through and let you know exactly what's going on around town here. Here's what we got. Upper level stuff, lower level stuff. This is all upper. That's a cold front that came through yesterday. It stalled off the coast. It's what's bringing the light shower activity southern Maryland and into portions of Virginia. The guy we're watching is this kind of string of moisture coming down. Upper level trough, area low pressure up here in Michigan. Upper level area low pressure. That's kicking up the snow shower activity. Here's, let's see, let's refresh this map. We'll get a live look at the radar here. There it is right now. Light snow shower activity in the mountains. That's not associated with what we're watching. Light showers, southern Maryland, down through Virginia, down I-95, Dale City, Fredericksburg. All showers today. That's the guy we're watching out to the north and west. That's your snow shower activity. It's light. It's scattered. It may come through with a brief punch, but it should move on pretty quickly once we get it through here. Let's rock and roll with temperatures because they play a big role here. Refresh this page as well. You can see temperatures outside right now. We're in the 40s, mid 40s here in D.C. I know that's a little hard to see, but it says 45 degrees here in Washington. Your cold air, your stuff where you might get some stickage off to the north and west, but even a lot of those mountain zones either at freezing, right around freezing, so nothing too chilly out there. It's far back north and west, Minnesota, northern Wisconsin. That's where your single digits and your big time cold is. It comes behind. Remember, your system's right there. The cold air is dumping down on the other side of it. So this system's going to pass, and then the cold air will come in behind it. I don't think the cold air makes it in time to make tomorrow a huge deal. Let's get right to the models for you so you know what's going on. Here's today. You see the rain shower activity. Watch into tonight and overnight. That's 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's light snow. It's light snow. It's nothing too heavy. How much did, and then by the way, guys, so that's 7 a.m. That's 1 o'clock. So you see it comes and it goes. It's pretty quick. And it's, notice what the model's showing here. It's a pretty wide area of blue from, say, the Chesapeake Bay back to the I-81 corridor. Probably not that widespread of a line. It's probably a much thinner line than that model showing. How much did that weather model give us in terms of snowfall? It gave 0.7 to D.C. I think that's a little high. It gave an inch to Frederick, Maryland. I think that's a little high. I think a lot of these totals are a little high that this particular model is putting out. 1 to 3 inches in the mountains. I like it. We went with it this morning. An inch or two, Maryland, Pennsylvania border, sure, but I think it's more isolated than what the model's showing. Generally speaking, a coating to an inch with an emphasis on the coating. Different looking model for you. This will show you kind of the sharper line image. This is overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. There's 7 a.m., 6, 7 o'clock. Look, we're D.C., and D.C. closes schools for a lot, or maybe not Metro D.C. does, but a lot of the counties around here close or delays for various reasons. Could we possibly see some delays tomorrow? Could we possibly see a closing or two? Sure, just because of timing, but it's not sleddable. You're not going to have to shovel it, and I think your roadways are going to be fine because we'll go through temperatures in just a minute. They're marginal, and your chemicals are going to work. Ground temperatures themselves are above freezing all around the region thanks to the warm weekend we just had. You see how scattered it is, and watch how fast it gets through. We move on, so that's 7, 8 in the morning, 9, 10, 11, it's gone. It's out of here. Cold air spills in. We might do some sunshine in the afternoon once this event gets through. But again, here's what that model gave us snowfall-wise from Pivotal Weather. This is less than ½ inch of snow in D.C. All these zones in white you see through Montgomery County, Fairfax County, that's the model giving you nothing. 0.2 inches in Frederick, Maryland, 0.4 inches in Baltimore. So again, not a big deal. It's your upslope zones on the front range of the mountains there where your winter weather advisories are at this hour. That's the zone of biggest concern with this. But honestly, temperatures have just been too warm and they'll be too marginal with this event to really get the snow giving us major problems. I don't want to overplay this event. This is not even as bad as some of the other ones we've had, even though the amounts are similar, just because of how warm we were the weekend, you know, in the days leading up to it, and how warm we are out there today. We're not awfully chilly out if you've been out this afternoon. There's another model. Look at it. This is the high resolution North American. If you're weather savvy and you're wondering, quick, thin line, quick burst of snow. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's gone. Again, it's scattered, it's light. The only concern is like maybe right there, it's giving a quick burst, maybe a 20-minute burst of heavier snow to DC before it moves on. That's the kind of situation we're talking about here tomorrow morning. It's on, it's out of here. That model left a wide spread, and I'll zoom in here so everybody can kind of get an idea here. That model left a wide spread from Pivotal Weather once again. Every area under there, with the exception of maybe a few on the northern neck there, all those areas under my red line there, it gave less than an inch of snow, and in most cases, less than ½ inch of snow. Amounts-wise, this is not going to excite anybody. Sorry, kids, if you're trying to get another day. But remember, Montgomery and Prince George's County, you're out of snow days. So do you really want to cut into your spring break? Maybe not, especially not for an event like this that won't leave too much to play in. There's yet another look at it. 6, 7 o'clock seems to be when the models are honing in on, and then by 8, 9 o'clock, it's moving out. It's a quick hit. Maybe we have a leftover snow shower or snow flurry through mid-morning, but as far as accumulating snows go, if they're going to come between 5, 6, 7, 8 in the morning, and then they're going to be out of here. Quick event. There's how much, this is the Canadian model, maybe a little bit more aggressive, but still nothing too impressive at 7/10 of an inch, ½ an inch of snow, basically, and then maybe an inch for Frederick. I think some of those numbers, based on everything I'm seeing, are even a little high. I really think a dusting will be the name of the game, and I think most of your accumulation is going to be on the grass. One more model look for you guys, just so you can see the consistency that we're getting from our weather models, that this is a pretty minor event. Brand new one that just rolled in. This is going into the overnight hours, and we're getting you awfully close to, that's 5, 6, 7 in the morning now. Look at how thin, so DC's right where I'm putting that red dot right there. Look at how thin that line of blue is. It's a quick burst, it's a quick hit, it moves on. The only concern is that it's coming during the morning rush hour. That's the only concern we have. You know DC, we all live, we all work here. You know how DC gets whenever a little bit of snow comes down. There always tends to be some problems somewhere. This is how much snow the model put down for us. All that light gray and that black zone, that's like an inch or less if you match it up with the scale there. It's not much. I don't want to overplay this to pretend like it's going to be something big. It's not. And one of the reasons it's going to struggle to be anything big is temperatures. This is one model showing tomorrow morning's temperatures around the region. That right there, where that blue fades to that shade of green, is your freezing line. So at 7 a.m. tomorrow, when a lot of these models are showing the biggest burst of snow in D.C., you don't have a lot of surface cold. You got 32 degrees in Baltimore, you got 33 in D.C. North and west of town, yeah, you're a little colder, so maybe you have a couple more slick spots up north and west of town on those untreated roadways. But here locally, D.C., really marginal. This is the latest GFS. It's got 34 degrees here in DC. It's actually got 37 in Baltimore. You're going to have trouble accumulating anything with temperatures like that. It's not until you get to northern Montgomery, Frederick County, Maryland, Loudoun County, and Virginia. But even those locations, again, we're not talking a whole lot of snow here. I would think that this would not be snow that's going to get a lot of people out of school. Maybe some delays, but I'm not your superintendent. They don't call me. They don't call Tucker. I don't make the calls. They don't make the calls. So we'll see what schools decide to do. We're going on at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning regardless. So if you're wondering about your work or your school, we'll be on extra early to bring you any closings or delays that do happen. But I wouldn't, my assumption with everything I see is I wouldn't expect them to be too widespread. There's another model look. 33, 37 degrees, marginal temps, guys. That's going to play a big role. Believe it or not the only event we're watching this week. Let me take you over the European from Storm Vista weather models here. Here's tomorrow's event. Bigger storm goes off to the north. We kind of get the trailing piece of it. It's gone, it's out. Next event we're watching comes our way on Friday. Friday's a tricky situation. I don't particularly like it. I'll tell you why in just a second, but it's this wave. And I know it looks chaotic on your screen here, but you basically have a front that stalls out and you get a wave that rides along it, and that's all the moisture you see. Let's zoom in so I can point things out to you. So this is as we head into late Thursday night, Friday morning. Starting as rain. I know these colors and these lines are all very difficult to kind of see here, but that's late Thursday night. It's starting as a chilly rain here in D.C. Then the question is always, how fast does the cold air come in? Right now, by 7 a.m. on Friday, that big, thick blue line that I just kind of highlighted there, and I'll take it away so you can see, that's your freezing line. That's the European model saying, hey, cold air is going to trudge on in here. 7 o'clock Friday morning, we'll do a little bit of mix, and then eventually we'll end as a period of snow. How much? Not much in this model, but the question is going to be, does that cold air actually get in here in time? And I'm going to tell you just from watching these weather models, a lot of the times when we're watching an event 5 days out, they will tell us it's going to get cold enough to snow. And then as we get closer and closer to the event, they're going to go, well, wait a minute, maybe cold air is not going to get here in time, and maybe it's more rain than snow. Just know that the end of the week is a time period we're watching for the potential for more of a wintry mix around here. I don't particularly like the setup. Here's a couple reasons why I don't. Technical, so forgive me for that, but there's an area of high pressure. It's a cold one coming into the Midwest here. It's going to push the cold air in. However, what we don't have is what we need here for a good snow is we need a good area of high pressure off to the north here. We don't have that with this situation. Also, the upper level low, and I know I'm getting technical here, but there's an upper level low up here. Let me make sure I'm on Friday. That's a little bit too far north. Clear that off. It's way up here. If you want snow here in D.C., you want that to be a little bit farther down to the south. Instead, it's a little bit too far north, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a chilly rain, mostly, that ends up mixing out a little bit. But I'm in my camp right now. I'm in the not such a big deal for Thursday into Friday, but we'll watch the models. We'll see how things pan out. No blocks either. I don't want to get too complicated because I'll throw a lot of people off, but there's not the best blocks in the world off to the north. So just know that we are watching that Friday or Thursday night into Friday. One more other area we're watching, and that's your Super Bowl Sunday time frame. This one's a little more interesting to me. So there's Friday right there. Friday comes and goes. You get a big old Arctic high that sits right on top of us that will keep us cold on Saturday into Sunday morning. That high starts to exit. What happens is you start to get another piece of energy sliding in really kind of Sunday night into Monday. You have all this green stuff off here. That's an upper level trough. That's upper level energy swinging in. You have this lower level piece down here off the southeast coastline. If these two can meet up, then we might be cooking with gas here because I like what this model is showing in terms of where the high pressure zones are. You got a high right there and you have a high right there. When you get two like that, generally speaking, you can hold in the cold air a little longer than models are showing. So now the only question is, can we get this piece to link up with this piece, get something together to ride up the coast while those two features are there? That's 6-7 days away. I just want to mention that there is a chance because when you see our 7-day forecast, and I'll pull it up kind of right now, there you go. You see 3 chances of mixed to snow kind of events that we're watching. Of course, tomorrow, I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world tomorrow. We'll watch it. We'll bring you the latest updates at 4 a.m. tomorrow. But I think it's a quick burst of snow that comes down during the morning rush. The roadways probably stay fine. You get a quick dusting on some of the grassy spots in some of the region, and then we all move on with our lives. And you know what? Why I'm not talking about that, here's our snowfall map. It's nothing. It's not too impressive. Trace to an inch is what we're going. Emphasis on the trace versus the inch. I don't have a whole lot of weather. I have almost no weather models putting down an inch of snow here in D.C. or anywhere near D.C. I'll go an inch or two up towards the Maryland-Pennsylvania border, but emphasis on the 1 inch and maybe even less than that. I almost am debating this afternoon getting rid of that 1 to 2 at the Maryland-Pennsylvania border. 1 to 3 inches plus in the mountains. Mountains always do well with this event. You got the little upslope flow, meaning the air will hit the mountains and be forced to rise. That will force the moisture out, and you'll get more snow over the highlands, especially westward facing slopes. So 1 to 3 inches. A couple of mountains out there will get 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of snow, but not going to cross, especially not east of the I-81 with that event. All right, back to the 7-day. Thursday night and the Friday we mentioned before, and then you see the chance in there on Saturday. Rain, snow, mix. Will it happen? Will these events fade away? It hasn't been the best winter for us in terms of getting these events to go so far. So I'm going to stay skeptical until we get much closer out with these events, and then we'll bring them more into the forecast as need be. Just know that those are the 3 zones we're watching is tomorrow morning, Thursday night into Friday morning, and then Sunday into Monday morning as things stand right now. Bear with us, and we'll bring you updates as we have them. Last kind of mention here, just for some people think winter's over. I'm still in the camp that no, it's not. In fact, I think the best and snowiest parts of winter are yet to come, but we still have a little bit of time to get there. Latest long-range modeling, this is for the second half of February, essentially, 13th through the 17th, 16 to 20-day period. Nice cold air outbreak coming. Usually I don't trust these long-term models, but when they consistently show the same thing, they tend to be on to something. And this is the 5-day average here of this particular long-range model. In fact, I'm going to skip and just go to the 16 to 30-day, 5-day average if it wants to load for me. Might not load for me, and then we have problems. Might be having a little internet outage. But regardless, you can kind of see it there. Let me take it off. I'm having one little internet issue, so let me go ahead and load it up. There we go. So there's the 16 to 30 days, so the 13th through the 27th of February, showing more. It won't be cold every day, but it's showing more consistent cold as we head into the second half of the month. We typically do the most snow in DC during the month of February for a reason. You have winter cold trying to hang on, and you have spring moisture trying to invade. So again, February is always interesting here. We'll wait. We'll see what we got. 3 chances, so to speak. We'll see how they pan out this week here. Again, tomorrow I don't want to oversell it to be anything more than some light snow shower activity in the early mornings. It's just the timing of it that's a concern. Coming during the morning rush, you know how it is there. Then we have Thursday and the Friday morning. We'll watch for a mix. I'm not terribly confident in that event actually happening at this time either. We'll watch Sunday into Monday. I'm more interested by that one, but we still have a lot of pieces to the puzzle that need to come together. That's 6-7 days away. We've got plenty of time to do that. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you have a wonderful Monday afternoon. We'll keep you ahead of the storm tomorrow. Gary and Sue will be in tonight. They're going to keep you up to date with the latest stuff that comes in. On my personal Facebook page, Mike Thomas Fox 5, I will probably do a video update, for my followers later on tonight at 7 o'clock is usually when I do those after some of the evening models roll in. So I'll update you then. Other than that, guys, stay safe tomorrow if you're hitting the roads. We'll keep you ahead of the storm. Over on our Facebook or on our YouTube channel, Fox 5 DC on YouTube, Molly is going to come back here in just a second, give you the latest news headlines. I'm going to sign off for the day. Again, we'll keep you ahead of the storm, guys, on at 4 a.m. tomorrow here at Fox 5. Enjoy your Monday afternoon. Stay safe. And watch out for just a little bit of drizzle this afternoon, especially if you live east of town. All right, guys, that's all I have. Take care. I'm going to leave you with a live look at the White House. Molly's coming back in just a couple of minutes.
All right, guys, we are live here in the DC newsroom at Fox 5 DC. Welcome to the show. Hope you guys are enjoying my new music that I have for you guys on the stream. First off, hope you guys had an awesome weekend. It's January 29th. Happy Monday to everybody who's on. If you're on the stream, please, as always, feel free to engage with us, interact with us on the live chat. We're going to be talking about a variety of stuff that happened over the weekend, including, of course, all the live news that's happening now. Quick live look I want to show you right now. I gotta do this. Show a quick show of the Patriots plane. There they are, guys. Super Bowl 52 bound. The New England Patriots are boarding their plane right now up in the Boston area to go over to Minneapolis, and we just caught some of them rolling down on the tarmac and then up into their own very own beautiful private plane. So a live look right there. Just so that you have that. And then another quick flash over to the White House. President Trump is going to be participating in a little ceremony to swear in his new Health and Human Services Secretary. His name is Azar, and so we'll see that coming up shortly. But first, I want to bring it back into the newsroom and talk a little bit of just hot topics and social news, kind of roll into this Monday. And here to join me is my good friend Monica from upstairs. Mon, roll in.
Hello, hello. Happy Monday, everyone.
I wanted to grab her while she was still free for the day. Monica works upstairs just above the newsroom.
Yes.
And we've had her over here before. And you love the social stuff just like I do.
Yes.
So big weekend, Grammys, the 60th anniversary, the 60th Grammys was yesterday. And I know a bunch of us here in the newsroom, some people caught all of it, some of the performances, some people caught just minimal chunks of it. I know you knew some of it, kind of in and out.
I didn't get to watch the whole thing, unfortunately, but
you know, I want to know what you guys thought too. If you guys have any thoughts on the Grammys last night, I wanted to make sure I checked in. I'm a big lover of music.
Yes.
I know it's cool to see the Grammys try to appeal to all people, right? So everything from rap and country, obviously to every genre, and you know, they try to run the gamut. Bruno Mars walked away with a ton of awards.
Right.
He made the
well
final.
Deserved.
Yes, he's so good. He's such a performer. Let us know what you think about him. Mon, did you, anything stuck out to you, or what do you kind of think?
I did love of course, styles are always bomb.com when it comes to the Grammys and any awards, but I did feel like all the women really stuck out, and it was big on just the femininity of just, you know, women just doing their thing and shining.
Yeah.
From Cardi B to Kesha to even Lady Gaga killed it.
Yes.
And then I can't ignore Beyonce. I mean, she was just killing it social media throughout the weekend with Jay-Z.
I saw that. They went to brunch or something. What was it?
They had a brunch. They had a Rock Nation brunch on Saturday, I believe.
Okay.
And it was like everyone in the music world was there, so that was phenomenal.
Okay.
And it was just a great social media, you know, thing to just see and get on. I believe he won the Icon Award.
Oh,
the Grammys met before, but he didn't win anything on the Grammys.
Okay. Quick pause right now. I want to hold Monica for a second because I do want to talk about music, but I just see Trump coming up to the podium. Let's jump into the swearing in and the White House. It shouldn't be too long. This is live from the White House.
Bit of an extra, right? It's going to come rocketing down. Alex is joined today by his father, Alex. Thank you. Congratulations. Of course, I'll only say congratulations if he does a great job, right? Which I know he will. Huh? We have no doubt. You're right. I don't either. His wife, Jennifer, his daughter, Claire, his son, Alex, his sister, Stacy, and her family, and his sister-in-law, Beth, and her husband and numerous friends. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it, and Alex appreciates it. Upon taking his oath of office, Alex will take the helm of a department he has already served with tremendous distinction, first as general counsel and later as deputy secretary. In both those roles, Alex was outstanding and an incredible public servant. People talk about him to this day. He was instrumental in improving the department's operations and advancing its emergency response capabilities. Alex knows inside and out the impact of government policy on patients, healthcare, and prices. As the former president of Lilly USA, big company, great company, and he did an incredible job, Alex brings invaluable private sector experience to complement his years of public service. The Department of Health and Human Services has already achieved a great deal rolling back regulations that drive up healthcare costs, but we have a long way to go. A lot of people are very happy with the amount we've done already, but Alex is going to bring that to a big, brand new level. As our new secretary, Alex will continue to implement the administrative and regulatory changes needed to ensure that our citizens get the affordable, high-quality care they deserve. He will help lead our efforts to confront the national emergency of addiction and death due to opioids. And I think we're going to be very tough on the drug companies in that regard and very tough on doctors in that regard, because what's going on is pretty incredible. And finally, put an end to this plague on the lives of families and communities. People go in for a minor operation into a hospital. They come out, they're addicted to opioids. They're addicted to drugs after a short period of time. We have to get the prices of prescription drugs way down and unravel the tangled web of special interests that are driving prices up for medicine and for really hurting patients. And we're going to get that done. That's going to be so important. You look at other countries, they pay a fraction for the exact same drug, the exact same pill in an identical box from the same factory costs us much more, many times more, than it does in other countries. And nobody knows that process better than Alex, and we're going to get it done because it's very unfair to our country. Neighboring countries pay a tiny fraction of what we pay for the same exact pill made in the same location. And Alex, I know there is no one more capable, qualified, and committed than you to overcoming these incredible challenges, so important. And I will say this, prescription drug prices is going to be one of the big things. And whenever I speak to Alex, I speak to him about that, I think, prior to anything else. Yes. And I know you can do it. You know the system, and you can do it because it's wrong. So now I'll ask Vice President Pence to formally administer the oath. And again, I just want to congratulate Alex and his family, and God bless you all. He's got a very important job to do, so thank you. Thank you for giving him to us, and we'll give him the chance, but you gave him to us, and we appreciate it very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, Alex Michael Azar II, do solemnly swear
I, Alex Michael Azar II, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God. what an honor it is today to become the 24th Secretary of Health and Human Services here in the United States. Only in America, the grandchild and great-grandchild of immigrants from Lebanon, from the Ukraine, from England, Switzerland gets to have that opportunity. Mr. President, thank you so much for the confidence that you have bestowed upon me and the incredible department you have entrusted me with. Mr. Vice President, thank you for your many years of friendship and for administering the oath today. And to my family, to Jennifer and the rest of my family, thank you for all of the many years of support and for the years of support coming. It's going to be tough, but we'll do well with it. I'd also like to thank the 79,000 men and women of HHS, who it is now my great honor to lead. I know these people, I know this team, and the deep commitment that they have to the mission of HHS to enhance and protect the well-being and health of all Americans. That is a solemn charge. It is a charge that I am committed to, and as you heard from the President today, it is a charge that includes his personal direction to me that we have to tackle the scourge of the opiate crisis and we will bring down prescription drug prices. I look forward to that mission, to the work ahead, and now it's time to get to work. Thank you all very much.
Well, I hope it's going to be good. We worked on it hard, cover a lot of territory, including our great success with the markets and with the tax cut. And it's a big speech, an important speech. We cover immigration, and for many years, they've been talking immigration. They never got anything done. We're going to get something done. We hope it's got to be bipartisan, because the Republicans really don't have the votes to get it done in any other way. So it has to be bipartisan, but hopefully the Democrats will join us, or enough of them will join us, so we can really do something great for DACA and for immigration generally. But it's going to be, I think, a very important speech on trade. The world has taken advantage of us on trade for many years. And as you probably noticed, we're stopping that, and we're stopping it cold, and we have to. We have to have reciprocal trade. It's not a one-way deal anymore. So we have a lot of things to discuss, and we'll be discussing them, and I hope you enjoy it. And thank you all very much. See you tomorrow night.
Are you going to bring Senator Schumer down here again?
Wouldn't mind.
All right, so that's President Trump, because they're hearing Schumer in the White House, obviously preempting his State of the Union address tomorrow, which is his first. Very exciting. We'll be recapping that and talking more about that in today and tomorrow, I guess. But anyway, back here with Monica in the newsroom, guys. We wanted to make sure we caught that live swearing in of the new HHS Secretary, Alex Azar, who I think you were saying is of Lebanese descent.
Yes,
was he saying that?
Yes.
You recognize the name? You noticed that the name is
last name.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. We need some diversity.
I know. So anyway, we're hanging out, guys, in the newsroom here on this Monday. Happy Monday. Hope you're on with us and that you're having a good day. And let us know what you thought of the Grammys. We're going to talk a little more about social stuff. Yes. So let's go back to sort of what we were saying. A big statement for women, a big statement for the music industry in general. Women wearing white this time and sort of showing it with the symbol of the white rose that a lot of them wore on their lapels.
Yes. And even some men, some of the great men artists, Khalid, he wore it as if it was like he was going to prom.
He did,
yeah. That was cute. I really like that outfit. And
Gaga was in white for at least a portion of it, I think.
No, the second outfit, you're right.
Right, she had a couple.
That hair.
She was good. Everyone said
the hair corset they did was phenomenal.
So cool. So she had this really unique braid down her back, but with some type of string that made it look like a corset in it. So cool.
And I'm all about different hair designs and stuff. So that was great statement for her to make, and she's always looking amazing.
Yeah.
I loved Cardi B.
Yeah,
that was my favorite.
Colorful. She had a colorful, right?
For the performance.
The
red carpet, that white.
What's her red carpet?
It was all white, and I cannot remember the designer for the life of me. Excuse me. I'm not good with my designer names, but no, she did look phenomenal. She actually walked down the red carpet with her sister, and they both wore white. So I thought that was really
loved
sweet.
Cardi B. Everybody was talking about her today in the morning show here on TV, and I was trying to research, like, okay, I gotta know all these dresses.
Yeah.
I missed the actual red carpet portion, sort of like towards the beginning, and jumped right into the show, which, by the way, I thought James Corden was really funny.
Oh, he's great.
Such a good host.
He's a great host.
He's funny.
I like his comedy, so.
Yeah.
Because I heard some comments, people saying it was dry, they wish it was somebody else. No, they need to keep going with the humor, and
I agree.
He's awesome.
I agree, and I thought it was really cool. There was a quick moment where his parents were there, and he went over to them and did a little bit with them, and they were cute and they were happy for him. That's always cool to see someone super successful like that and have their parents, obviously his British parents, be there for it and make a little joke. So that was cute. But like you said, a lot of the men joining in with the Time's Up sort of women's movement, and that, of course, all going into the same vein of Kesha's performance, which everyone's talking about. She did her song Praying, which is already sort of a moving, deeper song for her. But this goes back because she was dealing with sexual assault way back. Before,
from her producer.
Yeah, before sort of the Me Too movement was huge, and before Time's Up was like a big movement, and I remember things were swept under the rug a little bit. She was having issues with that, and you know a little
she
more
was
details.
one of the first, people in the celebrity world to actually come out and make such an allegation, as they say. So I feel like she went through a lot. She endured a lot more because there was a lot of clash and people, and although her fans really supported her, I felt like the Sony wasn't really giving her contract, letting her out, so she was. They wanted her to continue making music with the producer. So there's a lot of push and pull, and I feel like this song and performing it on the Grammys and performing the way that she did in all white, it was just pure. It was a process of healing. I think it was just her way of saying, "Here I am." And I went through it and I did it.
I know.
I did.
I
loved it. And she wrote it on Twitter as well.
She did. Let me see if I can
and made a great comment as to how this is her way of just healing. So I really am. And I think that was just a great way of again stating the women empowerment movement and just being more social on that.
Was this the one that you liked? This one?
Yes. Yeah. That, and she also made just a comment.
Oh, she did?
Yes. How strong I've become. Thank you. And yes, that was definitely, for me, it just showed I'm strong. I'm a woman and I fought through my pain, and I'm here, I'm doing what I do best, performing. So the only thing I didn't like, the red carpet entrance outfit.
With her?
It was not good.
Maybe
it was like a music video
type
of, it was just a simple navy blazer with, some of the little, she does a little more of the Western, embroidery type of work.
There was embroidery, and there was tassel or something.
It was beautiful and cute, but I mean, maybe for a music video, Kesha, but for the, words you could have came out a little more bomb.com or a little more of a statement of, here I am, I'm serious.
Yeah, interesting. I would also counter that and also say, Paul Wharton today, who was doing some analysis on our show, was saying it was good that she was making this powerful message, and then it was good that she was wearing something that was sort of buttoned up and conservative versus let's be all showy. No, I'm here to do something serious. I'm going to wear this and be serious about it. So that was his kind of take on her outfit. But there's her message.
Although I don't think you should cover just because you went through something. No, that shouldn't be that type of statement. I hate to say it that way, but be sexy. Feel yourself. And she was definitely feeling herself. I just felt it was more of a positive, strength. Really, really showing strength, and that was great.
Yeah, we'll take it back here into the newsroom, guys. Also give you a shot on the left side of the Patriots plane. There they are. They have just boarded, and they're going off to Minneapolis for Super Bowl 52 next Sunday. We'll give you a live look at that and just leave that up so you can see it because it's happening live. But back to that, I thought the performance also was so powerful. She definitely broke down after it. Some of the other women, Cyndi Lauper, who was up there with her, and others that sang, were kind of with her to support her in that moment.
James Gordon teared up. So that was...
I barely noticed it, but later I was seeing tweets on social about this, that he was also quite moved by it. And
how can you not be? I mean, when I first heard that song, I felt it.
Same.
I felt everything she was saying. I felt everything she kind of went through, and it really hit me. So I really love that she performed that song, and I'm proud of her.
Absolutely.
As far as she's come.
I was gonna say when that song dropped, it also resonated with. It couldn't resonate, I think, with women in general, teens, older people who have gone through something. So whatever it is, it's sort of something you can come back to.
You can come back to,
and her voice in that is so powerful, and her pipes are just so strong, and the notes she can hit are just so strong. It's really cool to see her do it. Other people griping that she didn't win anything, even though others, won over her or whatever. But, she was there to represent it. She had an amazing performance, and that was really cool.
That was really cool. She still made the statement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which was so cool. So Women with Their White Roses last night, still going strong with that statement. It'll be interesting to see how that goes over to the Oscars, which are March 4th, Sunday, March 4th. Coming up, I guess, in a little more than a month. So we still have some time for this next award show, which I'm really excited about.
Yes.
It's definitely one of my favorites.
It is. Oscars is definitely my favorite. I love the red carpet. I'm all about the red carpet. So we'll see.
Me too.
It's going to be the hot.
It, being ready. Yeah. Yes, I love it so much. So I'm really excited for that. Obviously, Super Bowl Sunday is next Sunday. You guys see the plane right there. So a lot of big Sundays coming up.
Right.
Some award shows.
Right.
Also, guys, back in the Grammys, let's talk about Logic and his performance at the end. It was towards the end of the show, later in the evening. Logic, obviously the rapper, singer, known for his recent one, which is entitled, and it's The Number, right? His song is titled The Number, which is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline.
Right.
Which is really, really interesting. What was your take on him singing that and sort of what that meant at the end of the show?
I thought that was great. I'm a fan of Logic from when he was underground, so he's a really, really great artist all around, lyrically and just, really intellectual. Very good as far as promoting the youth and issues in the youth. And I feel like this performance brought out a lot of social issues that we have, specifically, of course, depression, but just also being there for each other. And there were people on the stage that had gone through, whether it was their loved ones or themselves, I believe, that had gone through some sort of suicide, depression situation. So he put them up on the stage. That was really great and moving. And in the end, he gave a great speech, you know, about all the issues, and even spoke about I believe, President Trump, if I remember correctly.
He did mention
and just
he did get a little political.
The inequalities that we're dealing with, and how we are all equal, and how we are all needing to be together and being there for each other a lot more. So that was just great. I thought it was a really good, pure. Also, again, with the white, there was a white. Everyone was wearing a white T-shirt with the numbers. And so I feel like white was a big thing yesterday.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I mean, I also followed him. I heard that song. I know it, but I also recognize the number just from knowing it, because whenever we do, I knew the number just as a national number. Right. Whenever we do a story that deals heavily with someone that committed suicide, or possibly some type of story surrounding prevention of suicide, that number comes to mind. And I've used it. I've even talked about it on my show before here, or on the stream, and just sort of mentioned, hey, just know that number is out there. Right. Everyone should know that is there, because mental health awareness is such a big part. I'm really glad that he brought that awareness. I think the song is tough. It's a hard song. It's a hard song. It's a tough one even I admit, when it comes on the radio, it's not necessarily the most chipper to get me hyped up or motivated. It's a little sad, but it was brought forth with a really good message, I think, at the Grammys. And it's cool that you're kind of an old fan of him.
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's really, really good artist.
Really talented.
I'm glad he's coming out now.
Yeah.
Really coming out. Bam.
Really cool to see people on the stage with that number, just to kind of get that number ingrained in people's heads, that there is somewhere to call and something to do, and that's that 1-800 number.
And all it really takes is talking to someone, and just talking to someone. Even if you feel like they're not listening, get it out and listen to yourself, and be there, the way you build that inner strength. So always know that there's help. Never give up.
So true. Yes. So good.
And also with the white and the more calm performance was Pink. I don't know if you saw her performance.
I did see her performance. Did you watch it?
That was so cute.
She is good. Her pipes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
No, I love her. She's always known for singing live and amazingly.
She
so
is good
I'll
at
give
live.
her that. And she always does that amazing aerobatic type of performance, going up and doing the anti-gravity loop.
That's
so I love
love
that.
This one? The
but
song
this
you picked? Or?
Was just subtle. It was just her, I feel like. She's also been making some comments throughout the months on the whole woman empowerment thing, and she has a younger daughter, I believe, so she's always kind of notated that I want to be influential to younger girls. So yesterday I felt like no nails, the hair was very simple, no shoes, just very casual, and it was all about being raw.
That's cool.
And I like that.
And she puts that on too for her child. She's often talking about how she wants her child to know to that she can be any way, her daughter, I think, right? It can be any way she wants, and she can be girly, she can be more like a tomboy, a singer or not, and she just puts that out there, and she's open about that and vocal about sort of her family values and whatnot. I thought her performance also was really good. She's really good live, and it's an exciting preempting to the Super Bowl, where she'll be singing the national anthem, right? I think so.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think that's what I heard as well.
That's right.
So I'm
and
excited.
She's from Philly, so she'll have a little tie to the game,
right.
which is exciting. I know, so it's cool. So that was a really good one. Kendrick Lamar performed, Bruno Mars.
I love Kendrick Lamar.
Kesha. Yeah,
although I feel like he should have won more. He should have won more.
Yeah, people said that. They were wondering why.
And that
some of the rap
album was
artists...
amazing. I love Bruno. I don't know.
He's
album
good.
of the year was the thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry for all the Bruno fans, but
he's a good performer. I think he's a really cool dude.
Yeah.
I know. And I'm a fan. I was
but
happy
after
to see him
like
win.
2 times, I can't hear that album too much. But Kendrick Lamar, I'm still listening to the whole album.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love it. I think I'm just a diehard. I love hip hop rap, and I mean Bruno Mars. I love all music, but still for me, I mean Kendrick Lamar. Should have won more.
Really, yeah, and that's what Kevin McCarthy, our entertainment guy, was saying too. They were questioning, him losing that category, and also some of the rap artists in general. Jay-Z
Artist of the Year
was there. I mean,
I love who was it? Alicia. I can't remember her last name.
Alicia Cara.
She won Artist of the Year. That's cool, but I think Shaza was better.
She with?
Yeah,
how do you say it?
SZA. You guys can help us out.
There's a couple artists, and I know them, and we know them, we listen to them, we know them, but
Yes.
you know, as we trend into the newer stuff, sometimes it's hard to keep up with everybody. But I saw that she won, and she made a really profound statement too, that she had always dreamed of this and had wanted to win a Grammy since she was young. Also, really cool statement by Janelle Monáe about that she prefaced sort of the women's.
Yes.
I think she opened
Her
up for
outfit was
Dasha.
amazing too for the runway.
It was really.
It was a tuxedo with some like flower embroidery going around, and she did the whole tuxedo look because she had the white and the bow tie, which is her signature black and white look. But she was just very business, and that's what she said. She said, "We come with peace, and we're here to do business." So you know. And that's just basically making the point that we women need to be heard.
Totally.
We need to be respected more and loved more and
she had a cool
appreciated
statement.
more. So
Yeah, she did.
I always love her.
I did
think
too.
she's
I thought
just
she
a
was
great.
great. If you guys missed that, do look it up or find her opener to kind of greet the women who were coming on stage. I think it was right before the Kesha group came up. I also want to note there were times, as they always do, that the Grammys got a little bit political. Some people are kind of wondering that the big talker today is it too political? Are these award shows too political? Politics is in our lives. It's going to pervade everything we do. To me, I don't know if I have an opinion one way or the other. I think there should be a focus, obviously, to the award show. But I mean, people are going to get political. It's such a big thing in our lives right now, and it's so out there that people are always going to bring those jokes in. So there was a little bit where James Corden kind of flashed to this pre-made video, and it was a bunch of celebrities reading lines from Fire and Fury, the book that we've been talking about it. And then the last one was Hillary Clinton. She was on this string of video clips, and it was funny that she was up for doing that. But you know what? We've seen her in the media now kind of doing little moments and like funny jokester type stuff ever since she lost. I think it's just sort of her way of like staying out there in the media and being funny about it and sort of adding, I guess, contributing to good humor, I guess. I mean, what did you guys think? Do you have any thoughts on that? Did you kind of catch that?
I'm with you as well. I'm kind of in the middle. I mean, I do feel like as celebrities, as artists, they have a platform, they have a voice, and they should be able to speak about political, social, whatever issues are out there, because at the end of the day, their fans do look up to them. There's a lot of younger generation kids we have to be mindful. They're always looking up to artists more than politicians, you know, sadly enough to say. But so I do think that was great that there was topics that were spoken about. Of course, humor is always going to be there. We're going to make fun of them all the time, and I'm glad that Hillary Clinton was part of it. I do love that aspect of it.
That was funny. I was surprised. I was like, okay, this is going to be all over the news.
I knew it was her. I mean, of course, the voice, but then when I saw the hair, because my volume wasn't all the way up, but I saw the makeup, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Hillary, what is going on? So that was fun. Very fun.
The source is
so funny. Hearing what we're getting in.
This is streamable.
For a second.
Newsroom. That's what happens in the newsroom.
Bloomington, Minnesota, where the Super Bowl host committee is having a newser.
Oh, cool.
Yay.
So I knew that this was going to happen. So I mean, we do want to take some Super Bowl footage. So when we get it up, we'll go over to Minneapolis or Bloomfield, Minnesota, wherever it was, and we'll show you kind of the newser on the Super Bowl for next Sunday. Do you have any big plans for Super Bowl, by the way, yourself?
I don't, not yet.
Are you?
We'll probably go. Well, I have a few house parties to consider. I'm just trying to see which one. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Versus a bar party or something. I mean, I think it's good to get your group together. I went to a cool house thing last year, and I'm looking forward to this year's too. But yeah, it's always a fun. We have so many big Sunday nights coming up. More award shows. But anyway, going back to what we were talking about, I think these award shows are always going to get political because it's part of our lives, and it's part of the joke now. And so comedians are just like riding that, and so. I think it's just gonna be part of it. So we just kind of have to roll with it. I thought it was funny. And James Corden does a good job of towing the line. He's not too controversial, but he's dry and funny. I think he's talented. The British aspect is even funnier. He's so
absolutely,
good. He was really good. His bright blue eyes.
Karaoke, it's my favorite. Carpool karaoke. I love watching that show. So
you know, he's one of the more esteemed to me. I'm a fan of him.
I agree. I'm with you on that. Definitely. Did you catch Rihanna's performance?
Oh, I totally forgot to talk about her. Thank you for bringing that up.
I love Rihanna.
Riri was back in full force. You know, I didn't even hear if they mentioned it today on our morning Good Day DC. I thought she was so good. She looks amazing. She looks healthy and not like stick skinny. No. She looks really great. Her voice was amazing. She obviously was singing for real. And it was.
She did a South African dance. I don't know if you caught that.
Did she?
I believe it's called Gwara Gwara. Correct me if I'm saying it wrong, people. But I love African music.
Yeah.
I love the music, the tribal dancing and all that. So she actually did a very traditional dance. I didn't catch
didn't
it, but
know
I saw it
that.
on social media. So props to her for that. I
That's
love
so cool.
the diversity that was brought on.
She's sang with DJ Khaled, right?
Yeah.
It was so good.
Of course, yes.
Guys, if you missed that and you want to see a cool performance, that was one of my
That was
favorite
good,
ones. I can't believe I
yes.
didn't bring it up.
Very
She
colorful.
looked great. It was colorful. She looks good. Her voice, it sounds good.
Yes.
So all that jazz. So it was a good night. I'm
It
glad you
was.
caught most of it. We were
3
able to chat
hours,
about
I believe, 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
That's a very.
7:30 to 11.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I missed some of the
missed
red
it,
carpet,
but
so
yeah.
she saw more of it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let's jump over to the presser in Minnesota pre-Super Bowl because we're just getting that in live. So I want to hear what they have to say.
Yes.
Getting ready for next Sunday. Thanks, Monica, for
Of
chatting.
course. Thank you. You guys have a
fun.
great Monday.
Great. 1, 2, 1, 2. Just the two gentlemen in the back. You're good? All right. Okay. Okay. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the gentleman in the orange shirt. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we'll do another one shortly just to reconfirm. Okay.
All right, obviously, guys, this presser has not started yet, but we will be taking you over to this Super Bowl 52 host committee press conference to see what they have to say as they gear up. You just saw the plane take off, so we'll bring this one full screen. That was the plane in the Boston area going over to Minneapolis with the Patriots on board. So get ready for next Sunday.
Yes.
Thanks for hanging out with us on our little Grammys recap, little social news for you this morning. We want to take as much stuff as we can live and breaking, so if anything kind of crops up, that's what we'll be jumping to today. So just kind of a mishmash of topics. If you have any thoughts or desires, let us know, and we'll try to keep you up to date with what you want on the channel. And we're gonna hang out for a little bit. Yeah. Do some work in the newsroom. So, all right, we'll bring this up full screen. This should be coming up soon. The host committee in Minnesota getting ready for Sunday's events. We'll see what they have to say.
Okay, we'll do one more final mic check. Let's wait till everybody's in position. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm sorry, how is yours? Audio down on the ground there? Great, okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, thank you.
Que tenemos con Univisión Deportes Network por mucho tiempo, 7 años ahora, comenzando en Los Ángeles como un narrador, como un comentarista local y eventualmente and I know how much this city needs this, how much the city needs to stop the diversity. Yeah, let's go. The culture, and let's be honest, Miami is a sensational sports city. Now, I'm pumped. I've gotten you guys pumped, but I want to heighten that level. So before we get all the formal portion of this historic announcement out of the way, please turn your eyes to the screens on the stage. Woo! New levels of pumping up for me, and I'm sure for you guys as well. Well, listen, let's get this kicked off. It is my complete honor. I am so proud to be your MC today, and I'd like to welcome to the stage our guest speakers today, our Miami-Dade County Mayor Carlos Jimenez, our City of Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, Simon Fuller, Jose Mas, Jorge Mas, Marcelo Claure, David Beckham. And your Major League Soccer Commissioner, Don Garber. Now, you guys are making my job so much easier. You guys rock. Now I'd like to welcome our first guest speaker. It is an honor, our great Miami-Dade County Mayor, Carlos Jimenez.
Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
All right, guys. Looks like this newser in Minneapolis
Good morning.
is about to start
My
up.
name is
So
Peter
we're
O'Reilly
jump
with the
over there
National
and bring that
Football
whole
League,
screen.
and it's great to be here in the bold north. Also, a few of us did not get the memo about the purple lasers, but we are ready to go. On behalf of the NFL, we are thrilled to be here in Minnesota to kick off Super Bowl week. And the people behind me represent the leaders of the team that have made Super Bowl 52 and will make Super Bowl 52 the incredible experience that it will be. Starting with the host committee and the three chairs of the host committee who are behind me here, Richard Davis, Marilyn Carlson Nelson, and Doug Baker, three incredible leaders in this community who have given so much time and energy from the very beginning when in May 2014, Minnesota was awarded a Super Bowl. For those 3 years up to today, the time and energy that they've put in has been incredible. I'm also joined behind me by Maureen Bausch, who's been my partner in crime, the CEO of the Minnesota Super Bowl Host Committee. She's done an incredible job. Also want to thank the Vikings and the Wilf family, represented by Ziggy and Mark here today. They too have been with us on an incredible journey this year and have been great partners every step of the way. I know that they would love to be preparing for a Super Bowl in their own stadium right now, but they are going to deliver an incredible experience and it's still been an incredibly historic year for the Minnesota Vikings, so thank you for everything. I want to thank Governor Dayton, who his leadership has been incredible throughout, and this truly is a statewide Super Bowl, and he represents that, and we appreciate him and all of his support. I'm often asked what makes Super Bowl 52 in Minnesota unique, and the conversation often turns to the cold and to the weather, but my real answer is it's the people of Minnesota, the incredible volunteers who have come together, record numbers of volunteers. You see that walking the skyways even these first few days. You see that out on Super Bowl Live. It's the people and the energy and the warmth here in the Bold North that is really coming through and will come through the entirety of this week. What's also unique is the legacy that this Super Bowl will leave. Maureen and her team and the Vikings and everyone behind me, the moment Super Bowl 51 ended in Houston, the legacy component of this Super Bowl started. The Super Bowl Legacy Grant Program, its 52 weeks of giving, has had an impact in every corner of this state, and that impact is significant, with a focus on young Minnesotans in school, improving their health and wellness. So that is an incredibly unique component of this Super Bowl, and we at the NFL are very grateful for that, and thankful for that that's come to life over this last year. We look at what's unique about this game, and we feel like we're incredibly prepared thanks to the people behind me. But we do have a unique layout. We're in 3 cities. A lot is going on here in Bloomington. This is where the media center is. This is where the fan gallery. There's incredible amount of attention in media. This is by far the most unique media center and fan gallery we've ever had at the Mall of America in a food court, and we're hearing raves about that. Maureen will discuss later, but Mall of America plays an important role on game day as well. It's incredible, the opportunity to actually go through security here at Mall of America, get on a train here at Mall of America, and get right to the stadium. So a lot of opportunity to make sure that you spend time and think about how you're getting to the mall, getting to the game on game day. Tonight in St. Paul, Super Bowl opening night will kick off to the nation, and that's where the entirety of our media will be, and will set the tone for the week. We're also very excited that the 2 teams will come together at halftime, and the captains of the 2 teams will spend time in a special moment on television interview to set the tone for the week. So a lot going on in Bloomington, a lot in St. Paul, and certainly in Minneapolis, where Super Bowl Experience is off and running. This is the home of Super Bowl Experience. It was born here, as many of you know. Maryland was here at the beginning, and it was launched in 1992. It's come a long way since those early days. I think the people who founded NFL Experience at that time, now called Super Bowl Experience, would be amazed to see what it's become. The fact that you can walk into NFL Super Bowl Experience, put on some goggles, and through virtual reality be dropped onto the field in an incredible way. So come an incredibly long way. Superbowl Live is off and running, and now 3 days in, we're seeing Nicollet Mall transformed into the vision that Maureen and team had to represent the Bold North and bring it to life in a fan-friendly way, free across the 10-day festival. Beyond that, we always look to incorporate elements of the local community into Super Bowl. We're proud to announce this morning that Leslie Odom Jr., who will be singing America the Beautiful before the start of the game and before the national anthem, will be joined by 2 local Minnesota youth choirs and performing America the Beautiful. These are 2 choirs who had looked to collaborate in the past, and now we're giving them an incredible stage on which to collaborate and come together. The Angelica Cantanti Choir, which practices right here in Bloomington, and the Communication Choir that is out of St. Paul. Those two will be coming together for a special moment. Just an example of the way we're bringing Minnesota and the local energy to life on game day. And ultimately, this all leads to next Sunday, where at US Bank Stadium, an incredible stage will be set for Super Bowl 52. This is our biggest stage, and there's no better stage than US Bank Stadium to bring this game to life. I will note and encourage everyone, and Maureen will encourage as well, make sure if you're going to the game, get there early, make sure you have your plan in place. Despite the cold, there'll be plenty of warm entries to get you into the game. And then we will be, starting at 1 o'clock when those gates open, we'll be programming for fans in the stadium starting at 1. Scott Hansen, who's well known for the red zone and whipping around to everything going on a Sunday, starting at 1 o'clock, we'll be in there. If you're in your seat, we'll be whipping around to everything going on, music at pregame concerts, the teams arriving at the stadium, and every interview you want will be seen. So an opportunity to get in, get settled into the stadium, and make sure you have that opportunity and a smooth game day experience. So again, on behalf of the NFL, we're thrilled to be here, excited for everything to come, and embracing the bold North. It's my honor now to hand it over to Doug Baker, co-chair of the Minnesota Host Committee. Enjoy the week, everyone. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Peter, and good morning, all. I'm Doug, and on behalf of my other two co-hosts, Marilyn Carlson Nelson and Richard Davis, welcome to Minnesota. So this all started 4 years ago. We got a phone call. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But the call was asking us if we'd lead a bid effort to go secure the Super Bowl for the greater Minnesota region. We were successful convincing the NFL. They were of generous spirit that day, evidently, and the owners, and they granted it to Minnesota, and then the work began. We were smart enough to hire Maureen Bosch, who has done an amazing job assembling a fantastic team. That's how this all comes together. We are now here. So what started 4 years ago, it's live, and we know we're moving, and we are pumped to have a great week. We plan to showcase Minnesota, this region, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and the bold North to the world and to you, and really to the world through you. So we promise you a week that you won't forget. It won't just be the weather, though that might be notable at times this week based on the forecast. But it's really not the weather that's defined this region. If you look at the region, this is a community of builders. We've built an incredible economy, an incredible community, and a very, very bright future. So we have an economy built on a foundation of entrepreneurial effort that has led to the formation of over 30 Fortune 1000 companies, over half of which are in the Fortune 500. This is a very strong base for us. We have a highly dynamic and educated population. We have vibrant theater, music, art, music scene, etc. We've got parks, plenty of things to do, bike paths that now turn into snow skating paths around the metro area, and we have a vibrant and resilient economy as a result. So we were the leading economy out of the recession. We stand here today with the lowest unemployment rate of all metro areas in the country at 2.7%. This low unemployment didn't stop the community from raising their hand when we asked for volunteers. In fact, when we asked for 10,000, we had 30,000 hands in the air. We've got an incredible team. You will see them. They are excited to welcome people. They know what we know, that this is a great community, and it's a great community because of the community spirit. And you're going to feel it firsthand, and that's probably the thing that we're most proud of. So this brings me to my last responsibility this morning. If you recall the phone call, well, on the other line of the phone call that Marilyn, Richard, and I received was the governor. And the governor was asking us if we would lead this bid effort. We didn't know what we were signing up for. I think we all stand here going, what a ride. It was terrific. But what I would like to also say is without Governor Dayton, we wouldn't be here. Not because of the phone call, not because of the bid, but because of his leadership in getting us a stadium. So there's a lot of people that pitched in to get the stadium done. Obviously the Wilfs and their commitment, and many other in the business community stood up. But without Governor Dayton's leadership, it would have never happened. So if you want to point to one person that made this thing go, and without which it would have never happened, it would be Governor Dayton. And so I salute him for his leadership there, and I'd like to introduce Mark Dayton, Governor of the great state of Minnesota.
Thank you very much, Doug. You and Richard, Marilyn, thank you for taking that call. You blocked my calls from that point on, and I can understand why. But thank you so much for taking on this role and doing such a superb job leading the host committee and putting Minnesota forward. Marilyn, you were involved back in 1992 with the first Super Bowl. Back when the main inducement we had for the league was that you could play putt-putt golf in the Skyways. So the whole enterprise has taken a long way from there, and we're excited about welcoming all of the nation, all of the world to Minnesota. It may not be Baldwin weather. This will be Bud Grant football weather this weekend. You'll realize what we went through, those of us who grew up with the Vikings back when it was all outdoor football. But inside that iconic U.S. Bank Stadium, which is just such a community resource, not just for pro football, but for amateur football, youth football, for baseball, for rollerblading, for concerts. It really is a people's stadium. It can be used over 300 days and nights a year to serve the people of Minnesota. I want to thank the host committee also for the legacy contributions. 52 communities around the state have received contributions for health and wellness projects, community centers, playgrounds, outdoor skating rink up on the Canadian border, for reasons that escape me, but it still shows that this will be something that will provide a lasting benefit to people all over the state.
All right, guys, so obviously lots of sports coverage today. You saw the Patriots board their plane for Minneapolis. This is now the host committee talking on behalf of their arrangements for the Super Bowl next Sunday. And then we have the big announcement from Major League Soccer in Miami. But I'm going to break in for a second and jump over to that police chase that we were talking about in just a second when we have that up. It is in San Francisco right now, and we'll go over there now. This is a live look at this police chase. We'll come back to sports in a little bit. Take a look here, guys. We have this chopper video of this pickup truck being chased down the road in San Francisco. I don't have a ton of information on this right now, but when we do get it, we'll bring it in for you.
Jorge and Jose, I am so proud and I am truly honored to have you both involved with our league. We look forward to working with you, the rest of your family, all of your staff to make your dream of what a successful and important locally connected professional sports team could be. Welcome to Major League Soccer, Jose and Jorge.
And again, I give full credit to Ziggy and Mark Wilf for their leadership and their commitment to Minnesota. And in that, I'd like to welcome to the podium Mark Wilf.
Good morning. Thank you, Governor Dayton, Doug, Richard, Marilyn, Maureen, and team. This group has done an outstanding job preparing for this incredible week and for the world's premier sporting event. On behalf of the Minnesota Vikings and the Wilf family, I want to add our welcome to Minnesota, welcome to Super Bowl 52, and welcome to the Bold North. I also want to take a moment to congratulate Bob Kraft and family and the New England Patriots and Jeff Lurie and his family and the Philadelphia Eagles for their success this season. Neither of these two Super Bowl teams have had the opportunity to play in U.S. Bank Stadium. We are excited about what they're about to see and what the world will see. U.S. Bank Stadium is an incredible venue that is electric and intimate. It has an outstanding fan experience and game day energy. This amazing stadium is both beautiful and functional. So welcome to Minnesota, where our people are bold, Vikings fans are bold, and our stadium is bold. Again, welcome to the Bold North. Thank you. Ziggy?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Governor Dayton, and everybody who's worked so hard on this great Super Bowl that's coming up. I want to add my appreciation and gratitude for this community, once again stepping up and taking on the significant challenge of hosting Super Bowl 52. Again, I also want to add our personal...
Hey P, I saw that you just joined the stream, so thanks for coming on with us. Unfortunately, I don't have a ton of information on this police chase. It looks like the driver of this pickup truck was sort of threatening the chopper video that is videoing him on the side here, and he has something in his hand. Can't quite tell what it is, but we're getting this in from another station who is in the same sort of area as our sister station in Oakland, California, so in that San Francisco Bay area. And unfortunately, the feed is sort of like this, where you can kind of see the compass and the roads, such that that's the map that you have when you watch the chase. But can't quite tell what he's doing because this chopper is kind of in and out. So we're gonna kind of leave it here to see what happens. And that's all I have for you on this chase. If I have any more information, we'll bring that to you right away.
The Minnesota Viking fans for their continued support. They are the best fans in the world. Wherever we go, we appreciate their support. And one day, soon, we will get to the Lombardi. But right now, I would like to congratulate both teams and look forward to a great Super Bowl, a competitive Super Bowl, and a Super Bowl that the fans can really enjoy. We look forward to all our guests visiting Minnesota, getting the chance to experience those same things. Then, thanks again, and welcome to the Super Bowl 52. Maureen?
Well, welcome. You know, it's been a wonderful process putting this week together for all of you, and we hope you enjoy every part of it. We have a wonderful team. I'm just the representative of that team. Our chairs, the Vikings, Dave, Wendy, Andrea, Mike, Dana, Wendy, another Wendy. We're here to help. When you see us, ask a question. We want to make this trip the best trip you've ever had. So please, that's what we're here for. And we want you to fall in love with the Bold North and come back. It truly is a unique Super Bowl, and not just because of the weather. I also want to do a shout out to Mall of America. It is the most spectacular building, and I'm not biased, in the world. And you should explore every single corner of it while you're here. It's set up for you. If you can't find something in this building, they don't make it. So I hope you enjoy living here for a week. I enjoyed living here for 25 years. So you're very lucky to have this as your headquarters. We started out with 30,000 applicants to greet you. We narrowed it down to 15,000. We interviewed all of them. We invited 10,000 to join us for our first rally and ended up with 12,000. You will see them all over in their beautiful purple, blue, and teal jackets, dressed for the climate and ready to help you find anything. 90% are from Minnesota, but truly they came from all over the country. Once you volunteer for a Super Bowl, you usually want to do it again. So we see some from many other Super Bowl cities. I want to run through some of the host committee events for the week. Super Bowl Live is open on Nicollet Mall between 12th and 6th. It's right adjacent to the Experience, NFL Experience, so you can easily go to the Experience, which is fabulous this year, and meander down the street. You'll find a lot of fun things I'll show you in a minute. But tonight there's something very special. Our favorite son, Prince, is going to be honored on Nicollet Mall and again at opening night. It will be beamed over to St. Paul. We're doing events, as you know, in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Bloomington. The entire state is participating, but those three cities are where you'll find most of the events. Tonight, opening night is in St. Paul. Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis have put together a phenomenal lineup. Sheila E., The Revolution, Morris Day, and The Time, the original Time where Jimmy and Terry will play, and it will be beamed into St. Paul, so you'll be able to see it. On Saturday, one other highlight, Polaris is based here, and they have a rider, Levi LaValle, who can do things on snowmobiles that shouldn't be done. And he's going to be out on Nicollet Mall at 1 o'clock on 11th Street doing some amazing things on Saturday on snowmobiles. We will produce, and we have been for those of you already here, we produce a daily briefing sheet of what's going on called the Bold Briefing Sheet. And we email it to everyone. If you're not on there, give us your email. We'll make sure you know what's happening in all 3 cities every day. On the 30th, we have a wonderful event sponsored by Mayo Clinic downtown, creating a sports culture of care. Again, it's a coaches summit, not to be missed. The media party is right out here in Nickelodeon Universe tomorrow evening. You can ride the rides, wear your tennis shoes, and just kick back, have fun. We'll have great music, great food, and you can just mix and mingle like you do. But don't forget to get on some of those rides. It's really fun. Then on the 31st, we have the kids' tailgate party and the Legacy press conference with the commissioner on the 1st, just for a few highlights. This is how it looks in downtown Minneapolis. Those circles are the experience, and then the lit up street is live. So you can see it's very connected. We will not be going over to the stadium except for special occasions until game day. The hours, again, they're in the daily briefings. Music all free and open to the public on Superbowl Live. It's all on our website, and we will stay afterwards to answer any specific questions you have. This is a block by block. It's kind of hard to read, but you can see it's filled with sponsor activations. We have a mountain that we built for cross-country skiing, tubing, the sled dogs, right over, and you can also drive under it, so we kept that street open. This is all open, so people can go back and forth. It gets a little congested at some pinch points, but you'll find lots of fun activities down the street and great food. Tonight we're having a happy hour in Dayton's at 3 o'clock, roughly. A little early for happy hour, but we want you to be able to get over to to opening night, and you can taste all the Bold North food. So that's inside Dayton's on Superbowl Live. The arches are up on the corner of 7th. This is the ski hill. The groomer actually hit a railing the other day. We had to close it for a few hours, but it's back open and ready for business. It is groomed like a ski hill, and you can try some really fun things on there. We have photo ops, many of them, warming benches, snow globes. The centerpiece is our stage, the Upstage by Verizon. And we did a shout out to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and said, would you help us program this for 10 days? And they called in so many friends, and it has been spectacular the first 3 days. We opened with Idina Menzel singing the theme song from Frozen, because we can. It works, you know. Bold North is authentic here. And they, again, all the entertainers are on our website, but a few that you want to look to not miss are Sheila E., Morris Day, Dessa, Soul Asylum, some locals as well as some nationals. Every night we drum down the sun with our wonderful Native American youth groups, and then we have a last dance between 9 and 10 with some great local dancers. This was Levi LaValle. That's what it will look like on Saturday afternoon. And for the Hormel happy hour tonight, you'll be able to taste a lot of these great foods. And again, it will take you a good half a day to get down Nicollet Mall and see everything from the Hallmark Kitten Bowl to the ice sculptures, the larger-than-life ice sculptures. And then if you really want some great shots, go down to the Mississippi and you'll see some people flying over on the zip line. It's very fun.
All right, Gabe, you go first.
So if you don't want to go on it yourself, and we did sell out in record time. I mean, it was like 7 minutes. So you can tell when Doug talked about bold people, it's cold up there. And if you'd prefer not to go, of course, we have footage that you can have. We won't make you go, but it is spectacular to watch. Of course, the experience, as Peter mentioned, it started here. It's in full swing over at the convention center. It is absolutely spectacular, and it's beautiful. It's been a pleasure working with the NFL and trying everything together so that we have a wonderful experience for our guests. Sometimes you need more information, so you can go on the website. Certainly know before you go. We'll talk about everything you need to know, but we're also here to answer those questions for you. And don't forget those daily bold briefings. Game day, we talked about a unique transportation system to game day. It is going to be very cold that day. Wear boots, wear warm jackets and hats. It truly, that's the day we have to get really serious about how we dress. But you can go through security here at Mall of America and get on the light rail door-to-door service. We really are encouraging people. If you could encourage people, that would be great. There are parking permits available. There is no tailgating outdoors at this game. It's going to be below 0, and then it will get up to 8, a balmy 8. So I think all you'll want to do is go through security and walk in. Tailgate is all indoors around the stadium and different facilities. We will be extending, the NFL will be extending the pregame experience, so we want people to get there very early if you can. We have a skyway system here. Some people call it a sky bridge system, but we call it skyways. You can get almost anywhere in the skyways, and we have volunteers at every corner, many of them, because it's a little bit hard to find your way around, but you can actually get to the stadium. You might have to pop outside still, so wear those coats and get inside. But when you're going down Nicollet Mall from the convention center, from Experience down Nicollet Mall, you can actually do that indoors through the Skyway, and you get some great shots from the Skyways also, great crowd shots. Our 52 weeks of giving, Peter mentioned, it's been one of the best things we've been able to do. We've been to all parts of Minnesota, parts that get very little attention. And the Super Bowl was able to visit them. And I thank Wendy, who is our chair, Wendy Nelson, who is our chair, and Eric Jolie and Dana for putting together a remarkable program. By the time we play the game on Sunday, we will have invested over $5 million in Minnesota kids. So we're very, very happy. And if you want to see some of those kids, that tailgate for them is on Wednesday. And they're just great programs. The media kit you have. It covers everything from B-roll to stock photography, facts on Minnesota. Know before you go. Please use it. If you see things we've missed, don't hesitate to ask. We put together many Bold North experiences for you, from the Paisley Park tour, which is great, to the Northern Lights laser tubing. You can go see the Eagles fly down in Red Wing. You can see pond hockey. I know many of you like to ice fish. We've heard that. We do have ice fishing. If you want to improve your golf swing, you can go over to Mayo Clinic because they have a whole sports fitness area. And then don't forget the dog sledding. So on there are these great Bold North experiences, and we'd be happy to have you try any of those. Again, thank you for coming to Minnesota. We hope you enjoy every minute of it. Bundle up, and you'll have a great time. And we're here to answer any questions you need us to. So thank you very much.
Man, that is a lot of cool people in that video. And I guess you guys decided to cut my part. It's all right. I didn't fit. Listen, guys, I thought long and hard about the next introduction, and then I figured I'd just do this. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, David Beckham.
Hello, Miami. Hola, hola, Miami. I promised my son, who's here today, that I wouldn't get emotional. It's very hard. I've done it in front of the world's media before, and it doesn't end well. But it's going to be tough today, because this is something that has been a dream for many, many years. It's a sport that I've loved for many, many years. So I've gone off script, but firstly, I want to thank the mayors. I want to thank Mayor Jimenez, because when I met you all those years ago, and we talked about this, and we talked about bringing this team to this great city, you just said to me backstage, thank you for persisting. I want to thank you for believing in me, believing in us, and thank you for your support. Mayor Suarez, I want to say congratulations to your wife, of course, for amazing children. But I want to say the work that you've done throughout the community speaks for itself, and I'm excited to work with you.
Guys, just reminding you that you're watching this major announcement for the MLS down in Miami, and anytime David Beckham is on screen, we have to go to him. He is being awarded this franchise in Miami, so let's listen in to see what he had to say, and then we'll recap some of the other stuff that we've been showing.
Hell of a journey. I joined the Galaxy in 2007 because I realized the long-term potential and partner and potential in this league. I moved from Real Madrid to come to... I moved from Real Madrid, as you know. It's a pretty big club. To move to a league that wasn't fully established yet, to a pretty young league, that was a big move. And one that I always knew that was going to be a challenge, but an interesting and exciting challenge. Firstly, I want to thank Commissioner Garber, because he came to me and he sat down and he explained the plan of this league and where he wanted to take it. And I was in. I was in from day one. We all owe the commissioner, the owners, from Phil Anschutz to all the other great owners that we have throughout this league. We owe a debt of gratitude to your commitment, to your hard work, and I promise you, the team that we bring into this league will be one of the best teams, will be the best team. When I was awarded the team, there was only one city for me. Only one city, and it was here. I was drawn to this city the same reason that millions of people are. Diversity, the culture, the weather, the beaches, the people. I will be honest. I won't be as honest as Marcelo was, but I'm going to be honest. It was very difficult at times. There was times, like Marcelo said, we sat back and said, this is not going to happen. This dream is not going to happen. It's too difficult, too hard, there's too many bumps in the road. But I don't give up. Nothing in my career, in my life has been easy. Well, a few things. From the moment when I was 12 years old and I had a coach turn around to me and he said, you will never play professional football. You will never play for your country because you're too small, you're too skinny. It's not going to happen. 25 years on, I made 115 appearances for my country. I won 4 different championships in 4 different places. I had a pretty good career. The thing that I know and the thing that I try to teach my children is things get difficult at times. And the only way for me to get through difficult times is to roll your sleeves up, never give in, and literally never give up. And that's what I did with this. The one thing in 4 years that kept me going more than anything, because I had people come up to me and say, let it go, don't do it. The one thing that kept me going was you guys. You guys are the reason that this is happening today. Like Marcelo said, we sat together and we said, we cannot let this dream go. This is a dream not just for us as an ownership group, for the commissioner. This is a dream for you guys, and that's the most important thing. Our fan support has literally been relentless. And that's what our club is going to be built on. We're going to make and build a club that you can be proud of. I know over the last 4 years, from the moment we announced that we were coming to Miami, I'm not going to say who called me, but I had many phone calls from many different players, top players, saying, I'm in. And yes, we want to build a team and we want to bring great players from Europe and we want to bring top players from Europe. But the thing that we're more interested in is the homegrown talent. We will build a state-of-the-art academy. We will build an academy that I've grown up on in Europe. And I've seen that when you bring homegrown talented kids into a team like this, that's when a community is built, and that's when people become proud to be supporters of a team, because you see young kids from the ages of 11, 12, 13 go from being young players, young talented players, into full-grown professionals, and then they go and represent their countries, and that's when we're going to sit back and say, job done. This is when we're going to be proud of our team. We have an ownership group that wants to be successful. We have an ownership group that wants to invest, not just in this team and in this city, they want to invest in this young talent of hotbed of young talent that we have that runs throughout this city. From the first time that I met Marcelo and Simon, we all met to discuss the club in Miami. The stadium, the fans, the legacy that we can bring into the community. And it is a community. Everybody knows that has been to Miami, that lives in Miami, lives and breathes Miami. Miami is a community of people that are passionate, that care about everything from family to life, to sports, to just a great way of living. And I'm proud to be part of this. Marcelo, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey. And I want to personally thank you, because when you sat down and you talked to me about bringing a team to this great city, you already knew the city. You already knew what it was about, and I didn't at that point. So I want to thank you for your persistence. I want to thank you for your passion. I want to thank your amazing wife and your amazing children for putting up with you for the last how many years it has been, but especially for the last 4 years since we talked about this. And I owe you a wealth of gratitude for sticking with me and sticking with this, this dream. I never usually talk this much, so I'm really sorry. There was one piece that never felt right throughout these last 4 years. And we've met a lot of people, met a lot of great people, great partners and owners that wanted to come into this. Something just wasn't right, and that was the reason why it wasn't happening. We didn't have the right local partners and the right partners that had a passion for the sport, a passion for the city, a passion for the people. I met Jorge and Jose, and after 30 seconds of meeting them, I knew these were the right guys. I knew this dream was going to happen that moment because these guys are passionate about the city, they are passionate about the sport, they liked me, apparently. And these guys made this happen. So, Jose, Jorge, I want to say thank you so much. Like Marcelo said, we have a great team. We have a great ownership group. Masayoshi-san is an amazing person that puts a lot of support and a lot of power behind this team. So I want to thank Masa as well. Lastly, I want to thank my family, my son, Brooklyn, my wife, who's at home with the other kids. They're there and they've been there through the good times, through the bad times, and I owe them everything. People say that wherever you are, wherever you come from in the world, this is a city that's built on dreams. Today, you made my dream come true. Thank you to all the media. Thank you to all of our friends, our family, for being here today. This is an amazing turnout in an amazing building. It's a special day for us. I hope it's a special day for you guys. Miami, thank you very much.
One more time, please. We're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going. Rounding up this excellent group of ownership for your new Miami club, Miami's own Jorge Mas.
Miami, our town, our city. Dreams are realized where freedom reigns. And I want everyone who is here, everyone who's watching, to learn a little bit about what makes Miami special, about what runs in the veins of a native, because I'm a born and bred Miamian. This was a city built on dreams. The founder of this city, Julia Tuttle, convinced a man called Henry Flagler to build a railroad on what was once swamps. But Miami to me is personal, and it starts with the story of my parents, who fled tyranny and who fled communism, seeking freedom, leaving behind everything they knew and coming to Miami, a city built on dreams and aspirations and hard work and sacrifice. And that's not a story unique to myself and my family. Everyone in this room has that story. This is a city This is a city built on dreams of freedom. Cuban Americans, Venezuelans, Mexicans, Colombians, Brasileros, Bolivianos, Guatemalteco, Costarricense. This is a cultural mosaic. We are the melting pot of the world in the Americas. We represent what is best of America. We represent diversity, drive, hard work, aspirations, and dreams. But above all, Miami is a city, we are a winning city. They've shared the story of the trials and tribulations of getting an MLS franchise here. My care and my worry was about my city, my Miami, because we deserve to be the best soccer city in the world. And on November 7th, I sent Marcelo an email and said, myself, my brother, my family in Miami want this to happen. A week later, we had dinner, and 2.5 months later, we're here, my friends, announcing that we are Miami MLS. We are soccer. And to the Southern Legion, we are fearless. We are one. We are Miami. Miami. And this team will reflect the diversity of this city. Look at our ownership group. Look who's here. Cuban Americans, English, Cuban, American, English, Bolivian. And we have a friend who's a partner from Japan. And I'd like at this time to have my dear friend Masa-san give you a message.
Hello, I'm Masa-san. I'm so happy and great that we become partner with David, Marcelo, Jorge, and we have an excellent, exciting journey together with all of you. Great Miami, I love Miami, and fantastic future. Thank you very much.
That's great. That is really good. This dream is today a reality. And tomorrow starts the real work. Tomorrow starts the work of building the global team for the MLS. Building a winner. Building a team that reflects the best of this community. And for the fan experience, I want that stadium and that fan to be the most raucous, loudest, fun experience in sports in the United States. No longer will a sports experience be in this town where you go to a game, you watch it, and you drive back home. That's not going to happen. We're going to have drums, chants, pre-game, game, post-game, the march to the stadium. We are going to rock it in this town. Seriously, we have many people to thank. I know practically everyone in this auditorium, in this room. Each and every one has a support system and a support group. You know, we are a very blessed family. You know, it's all about us leaving a legacy, leaving fingerprints. You know, I learned those lessons from my late father, who I think would be very proud today. But my family's here today sharing in a dream. And we're going to make this dream a great one for this city. Because I am, you know, fired up, excited about what we can create and what we're going to do. So on behalf of my wife, my kids, my whole family, my mother who's here, and the whole Mas clan present, thank you for your support. We're going to make you proud. We're going to make this city proud because, you know, this is going to be the franchise. And as always, my friends, adelante. We're going to make this happen. God bless each and every one of you. God bless Miami. And let's make it happen. Thank you.
The people responsible for Miami and MLS. It's official. What an extraordinary moment. I'm absolutely honored I'll be able to tell this story when I have grandkids, and Miami has won like 25 MLS championships. I introduced them. I'm still cool even though I'm old. That I will say. Listen, before we end, I want to tell our photographers that we will have our photo opportunity, our photo ops right here on the 4th row, right after the last video we're going to play. But I do have one last thing to say, and Southern Legion, I'll need your help after I'm done with this. I don't want to welcome Miami to Major League Soccer today. I want to welcome Major League Soccer to Miami.
Can't ask for anything better on decision day. Two rivals, the final day this evening. Wallace checks his run. Just as that's a rocket. Galaxy defense has been opened up again. Almiron with the finish. Wonderful save! Espectacular! Acosta, Ariola, it's out the door now. Josie Everton, one step beyond for Toronto as they crown the best season in MLS.
Miami, MLS.
Miami, welcome to Major League Soccer.
Welcome to Major League Soccer.
Bienvenido a la MLS.
Bienvenue dans la Major League Soccer.
Hope to see you in the pitch. See you guys.
Okay, so remember, photographers, 4th. Listen and enjoy.
I think she was going around telling people.
All right, guys, so it looks like we have lost that stream, but hope that you've enjoyed watching that really special announcement from the MLS in Miami, granting that new franchise to David Beckham. Always really cool to see David Beckham on stage.
We love him.
Monica here joining me to chat, and we're definitely big fans. Did you follow him throughout his sort of LA Galaxy career?
I did, and not so much the LA Galaxy, but more for Manchester United and of course Spice Girls times.
Yes.
I love a big Spice Girls
We're talking
fan.
Bennett like Beckham, all those old movies, any of that. So, hey, Pete, good to see you guys on. Iran, everybody on. I know we've been kind of jumping around a lot of sports news today. That was kind of cool, though, to see that live in Miami. I didn't really realize we were getting that in.
No.
Sometimes I come over here to our little system, and we're not sure what we're going to see live. There's a couple things that are slated. For example, the White House press briefing is actually coming up on camera shortly, maybe in the next 15 minutes or so. It's a little earlier than usual today, so we'll catch that, and we'll put that up live for the show. But other than that, we have some other actually kind of sad local news stories that we've been dealing with, including various scenarios of young preteens and teenagers who have gone missing or have died over the weekend. So I want to recap kind of one of those. Perhaps you're not local, but this is still kind of a story that is garnering a lot of attention, making large headlines. And this is a girl who was 16 years old, shot in the head on Thursday. So way back to Thursday in Northeast DC. DC divided up into the quadrants, of course, and she rushed to the hospital, but she did die from her injuries. Now, it's an unsolved case right now. Investigators are still trying to locate a vehicle of interest. Have you been kind of following the story a little bit, Monica? Or
A little bit. I did read more about it this morning. I came to about it this morning because it did just happen, of course, over the weekend. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible. 16 years old. I believe she just opened the door and someone shot her. They're not really sure what's going on. So, of course, more details is coming forward. And
Right.
we get some more information. Hopefully find this vehicle of interest and the person that's, to blame for all this.
Right.
It's terrible. 16 years old, so young.
It is really scary. We get these type of stories in local news a lot. The ones, of course, they all are tragic and stand out, but the ones that really, really do stand out are things that go unsolved for a little bit of time, including something where there's a blatant shooting in Northeast DC. Was it on the campus or was it outside, near the campus of Gallaudet?
I believe
or was she okay.
I don't know if she was a student, per se. I'm sorry, but I do know that it was definitely around the campus.
And you're looking at a picture on the right corner of your screen there of the Kia Sorento, the white Kia Sorento with Maryland plates. That is the one, the vehicle of interest in this case. And so they're looking at it. They're still looking for this. It's a 2017 car, so pretty much brand new car from Maryland that may have front end damage because of what happened. Or because of what they've deduced with the crime. So that's going on there. Pete, you're mentioning that there's just so many missing children grabbed by people. Yeah, it's just like I swear we see these in the headlines all the time in local news. And I don't want to say they go in one ear, but there's so many that it's hard.
And I feel like, nowadays technology is somewhat of a big blame too, especially with the younger generation. There are Snapchat where you have private messages, certain things you can't really know who they're really talking to, and still a way to talk to people that are strangers in the outside world. So you have to be careful definitely with the social media and monitoring the underage kids. If you're parents, you have to definitely know what your kids are looking at and interacting with who. And so just terrible. It's very unfortunate that we have this type of situation occurring, and definitely in our neighborhood it's even more sad.
It is really scary. You just never know what's going to happen in DC. Our reporter Evan Lambert also did a package on this other story. So related, just another tragedy of a girl who was purportedly missing. The police searched and scanned a local park that she was said to be near to at the time of going missing for her body right away after it was announced, and they did not find anything. But then over this weekend, was it?
Yes, last week, Friday.
Last week, so again, an older story, but still unsolved. Police, they did end up finding a body, and I'm going to open up the story really quickly to see if we can get a little more info. She did a little package on this.
That's her name, Julie Mosa, and she was also 16 years old.
Another 16-year-old.
And her specific, like I was just mentioning, social media, she was actually talking to somebody. Her family doesn't know who, but her twin sister saw her talking to someone, and that she said, "I'll be right back." Didn't take any clothes, no cell phone charger, nothing with her. And police initially, Fairfax County initially just put it as runaway, and didn't really take the investigation as seriously, I feel like, as they should have.
That's what some people are saying.
Yeah.
Fairfax County Police. Let's check out this package put together by Evan to get a little more context.
Please, just let us know.
Lambert is live tonight at the scene with the very latest. Evan.
There are major questions for police tonight. Back when Jolie disappeared, they told us that she was a runaway and she wasn't in any danger. Her family had disputed that over the last 2 weeks. She went missing from her neighborhood right behind me. We now know she was in danger. This is now a homicide investigation. Fairfax County Police, they say officers were in Woodlawn Park, just about a mile from here this morning, doing a second search of the park. Some kind of investigative lead brought them here. They didn't find anything the first time. That search, we're told, happened in the immediate days after Jolie was reported missing. This morning, under leaves and debris, officers found what they believe to be Jolie's body. The medical examiner will make the official determination, but a distinctive tattoo is what is behind their preliminary identification.
Fairfax County police officers were out here this morning conducting a search in the park for a second time, hoping to find Julie alive. Just around 11 o'clock this morning, one of our officers discovered what appears to be her body covered by leaves and debris.
Now, from the beginning, this case prompted tough questions for police who, in the first few days after Jolie's disappearance, did little publicly to get the word out about her. They did share her photo on Twitter 2 days after she was reported missing, but at the time, they told reporters Jolie left on her own and she was deemed a runaway. They also said they didn't think she was in any danger. Jolie's family took issue with that distinction, considering they say she was in communication with a male before her disappearance. She didn't take a phone charger or any extra clothes. Tonight, I asked police if they downplayed those concerns and if they took this investigation seriously enough. Here is their response.
Detectives began doing interviews with the family and began their rounds of interviews with friends as well. In some cases, those friends cooperated with the investigation. In other cases, they did not. So there has been an intense amount of work done by our detectives, and that work will continue as we are working the scene tonight and will throughout the weekend and until this apparent homicide is closed.
So that was the video that Evan Lambert, our reporter, did from Friday. So it is a little bit older, but I want to bring it to our attention because now that we're back on the weekdays, the business days, Fairfax police are probably going to be finding out more information and getting new questions and also being asked about their search processes in searching this park. So they found her body ultimately in the same park, possibly in a different location, due to she was identified because of her tattoos. But again, this body went unfound for a long time after her mother pleaded for her to come back and plead for people to help find her. So another really sad missing teen case that has ended up in being a fatality in the end. So I guess we'll hope to get more answers from police today, right?
Yes. I think this week should be providing hopefully some more details and maybe toxicology reports to see if anything was in her. I mean, we still don't know, you know, how she passed away. So there'll be definitely more information, I'm sure, coming up over this week, and hopefully just figure out who it is that's behind all of this.
Isn't this crazy? And separate events, separate incidences that we've been talking about, but it just really, I don't know, it sticks with you when it's a teenage girl, you know, when it's a teenager, 16-year-old, and when it's unsolved. And apparently her twin sister was the only one that knew she was going out, but they didn't see who
her mother
she was
as
with.
well. She did say she was just going out quickly. It was around, I want to say 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. on January, well, I forget what day it was, but
12th, I think.
the 12th, yes.
Back then.
And
It's
she,
a good while ago.
excuse me, she then said she was going to be back quickly, and then texted her sister and said, "I'm going to a party in Norfolk." And then after that, in Norfolk, Virginia, which is you know, from where they were, I believe she lived in the Alexandria area. She's about 200-300 miles away. And so then around midnight or a little bit after midnight, she called her mother, who actually accidentally missed the call. The mother missed her call, and after that, the phone was dead. And
after midnight.
After that, they never found, you know, her. Or, I mean, until now, and
call
got any contact.
So haunting and hard for that mother. Gosh, it's been a crazy, story.
Praying for these families. Let's just hope that we can find the owner of the vehicle for the other death and
at least
get more information on this situation as well. I mean, it's sad, but it's a community thing. We got to come together and hopefully, you know, teach kids to just not be totally open and honest with other people and be more cautious of the surroundings, definitely.
Totally, it's so true. And I know these are somewhat super hyper local stories because we are talking about some of these cases that are still unsolved in the DC area. But if you're joining us from elsewhere, welcome and thanks for hanging out with us on the stream. I know some of you are from all over, so if we do have our regulars from the West Coast, shout out to you guys. And if you're on with us, please let us know. You can chat with us in that live chat box on the right corner of your screen. And if you're just joining us and you're jumping into our channel, I'm Molly Navola. This is Monica from upstairs. We're just chatting about some of the news stories of the day, some of the sad stories of people that have gone missing over the weekend and sort of recapping what's up with those stories. But if you are interested in our stream, we do both local and national and world, really, news, anything that's live, anything that's breaking. We try to just grab that feed for you so you can kind of stay in the loop of what's happening as it happens. So this morning kind of brought you some Super Bowl stuff, some news, some sports news from the MLS.
Yes.
We're going to go over next to the White House press briefing. It's happening a little earlier today. If you want to be part of our channel and check in with us whenever we do this, which is daily, by the way, Monday through Friday, you can subscribe using the sub button, the red button right below our video screen here, and be part of our channel.
Yes.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Do it. It's fun.
We just keep it live, keep it raw, pretty much unedited, so things are whether if there's something that could happen, like that police chase earlier this morning. A lot of stations give this disclaimer, and we do too. Viewer discretion is advised because you just don't know what will happen. But we want to take it live so you can see what's going on in the moment and be there in the moment for it. So yeah, just a little recap of some of those news stories from the weekend. Quite sad in our community for those.
Pray and hope for the best.
Yeah, you stay up on those somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's sort of what we're covering there. A little recap on the Grammys earlier on in the show. If you want to kind of watch that, you can rewind when the stream kind of ends, and you can go back to the beginning of our stream. And just a reminder, we go up normally about at 11 for some weather coverage with our meteorologist Mike Thomas, and then I'll come on usually around 11:30 with whatever we have live, whether it be politics from the Hill or the arts or sports, or hanging out and questioning some of the anchors and reporters in our newsroom. We try to get everybody involved and use our resources so you can see the greatest of news right here from our newsroom live at Fox 5. We're in Upper Northwest DC. So we're so happy to be here with you this afternoon. Whether or not it's the afternoon where you're watching from, thanks for hanging out with us on the stream, guys. Let's go over to the White House and check in because Sarah Sanders is going to come up to the podium shortly. We'll see what the White House has to say. As you know, Trump was in Davos, Switzerland last week. We brought some of the World Economic Forum to you as much as we could, his keynote speech and some other things over there. And we'll kind of keep you in the loop of everything else. We'll see what she has to say coming up next.
We should have gotten one bowl for the 8 of us. Yeah, exactly. That's all they had on the menu. This is called Ben Syrup. I did. It wasn't sour. Whatever this is over overseas, it's causing Verizon's putting out some Okay, guys, I see that you guys are commenting about this, and as you know, next up is the White House press briefing, and you're right, it is supposed to be quite spicy because FBI Director Andrew McCabe, the Deputy Director rather, has decided to step down early. The questions we're probably going to hear people ask are sort of what was Trump's reaction to him stepping down, and what forced him to do so. Was he forced? Was it a mutual agreement? Lots of questions in play here, but that is the breaking news. Thanks for kind of bringing that up in the chat, is that the FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe has told staff that he is stepping down effective today, not later on. So today on this Monday, Sarah Sanders likely to get lots of questions about this. and see how she sort of answers that regarding the president's reaction to this. Also, we know the State of the Union, Trump's first State of the Union address is tomorrow, so we'll be kind of talking about that probably in tomorrow's stream. We, of course, have coverage of that, reporters on that story, and we'll be doing stories on it and packages on it in the coming days after the address, so stay tuned for more of that on our broadcast and on our stream today. But yeah, you guys are looking at the podium bump shot. This is coming up early today. We'll check in here, and if you have any thoughts or comments throughout the process, let us know. Chat with us in the comments and let us know what you think about some of Sarah Sanders' answers, some of the questions that she might get. So yeah, here we go. So I'm reading more about this. They were expecting McCabe's March retirement, but this is a step down that is somewhat early. So, the questions remain. What was the benefit?
Yeah. Right. So
right.
We'll definitely need to know all of that, and I think, of course, tomorrow as well. But there's so much going on with the Trump administration on board. So we'll see what's happening.
Right.
I think regardless of
I know. We always say that too. We think we're gonna really know their answers. There are always diplomatic answers from the podium. Do we ever really know the truth? I don't know, but we can take what we will from it. So looks like this is hopefully starting up shortly, guys. I'm going to take you back inside the White House press briefing room and check in with you after.
Yeah, I'm ready now.
identified as secret base, CIA base in Mosul. So it's not a live real-time thing. This is like a compilation of
Quick for a second, guys, before the White House press briefing comes up, I just want to alert you of this feed that we just got in from Arizona. This is Squaw Peak. If anybody's familiar with that, shout it out. Apparently there was reports of a dizzy hiker, and look at that crew going up there to rescue.
Big, large crowd.
Pretty amazing. Yeah, grab your mic. We don't see this.
Big, large crowd, for sure.
When we do see it, it's often in some of these mountains and some of these hiking areas in Arizona, so specifically to that area. And so our Phoenix station will kind of pick this up, or there'll be some chopper video of a mountain rescue. It looks like a lot of people went up there. They really do take that seriously.
They do.
Which
Absolutely.
is cool.
I mean, the air is dry in Arizona, so I'm sure hit them
So
hard,
dry, and the
hopefully
dehydration. I was wondering what this was. I was just seeing the feed come in, but you saw someone you can kind of see close up on the stretcher there, and there is a mountain rescue going on this peak there. You know, often we see these types of things of people, like men or women who are hiking that are just stranded, and you can see that chopper video of people going up to try to rescue them, so you actually see the rescue in the moment. Looks like this one is sort of just wrapping up, and they were able to get them off on a stretcher to get them rehabilitated. But man, dehydration is no small thing. I think I know it firsthand. I don't know if you've ever dealt with it, but
Camelback. I always have a Camelback. That's my jewel.
Oh,
Yes.
Camelback, the thing.
The water jug. You always have to stay hydrated.
In Phoenix is a big one. Yes, it's so true. The altitude gets to you, right, when you're not used to it. Granted, some of these hikers are probably local. They are used to it, but maybe some of them are not. But anyway, live look at that rescue. Pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
In Arizona. Iran saying the hiker better be glad they didn't try it during the July heat. You know, right? Because you're in Vegas, and you're so right. The dry heat of the Southwest. I've experienced it a little bit in New Mexico. Phoenix, I'm not as familiar with, but of course, Vegas, you know, it is a serious thing.
Yes.
And these people try things, you know, in the heat with not enough hydration, and it catches up to you, that elevation.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's go back, guys, inside the White House briefing. I don't want to miss a moment. As you know, we're looking at the podium shot of the briefing. Sarah Sanders to come out and address the press, and all coming on the heels of the Andrew McCabe resignation today, earlier than was slated, than people thought he was going to. So we'll see what they have to say about that. All right, White House press briefing coming up next.
Been here for a couple of years. So we finally, I mean, this seems to be
The only thing that kind of hosed us was when I get calls in the middle of the night, Saturday night, they start the restaurant stop. Scramble. That's the equipment problem. It's a mechanical. Yeah, I think that was great. Green line. Exactly. All right, that's a good play. Is there a direction? That's the only direction. That's where it is. They put us on Swiss Air. We did Swiss Air to Brussels. You know, they check in Swiss Air. We may have to do it in Spain, but it wasn't great. So we're pretty busy. We cancel a direct line to basically south and then oh, okay, just making sure. Okay. It wasn't really a quote, it was just
All right, guys, obviously this is taking a little longer, so thanks for bearing with us if you're still hanging out with us here, waiting for the White House press briefing. You're looking now in the right corner of your screen at Live Look in New York City. How much do you love Manhattan? I know you love it.
Love it.
So do
Second
I.
home. I've said that before.
It is, and you go there a bunch and you like it.
Yes.
Gosh,
it's beautiful today. A little windy, but
it does. A little cloudy too. I'm
Yeah.
overdue on a visit there, but I'm hoping to get up there soon. I've actually been talking this weekend. I was chatting with a good friend of mine, and we were like, "Let's organize a weekend trip to Manhattan." We haven't been in a while. So easy to get up there. Anyway, that's not the point of me jumping back in. I want to play out a couple packages just to keep you abreast of the top headlines of the day and stuff that we've been thinking about and talking about. Not the least of which, of course, is all the stuff happening in Afghanistan. And Monica, you were mentioning this. We were kind of chatting about it. That you know a little bit more about what's happening. We're going to play a package in a second just to get a recap.
Yes. Well, if there was an attack, actually a lot of attacks over the past 2 weeks, specifically in Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan. And it's ISIS claimed responsibility for the attack over the weekend.
Multiple fatalities.
Multiple fatalities, and they there was one last week at a hotel that they, I believe they bombed. There was an explosion, and there were over a dozen deaths with that one. So just nonstop, it just keeps happening. I feel like right now the direction of ISIS is just to take over Afghanistan once again and make Taliban stronger, because the government's there. There is a not necessarily, democratic established, but more on the democratic side of a party that's kind of trying to get the states together, all the different provinces in Afghanistan together to, of course, go against Taliban and rebuild the nation. And a lot of developments happening, but the government itself is still, I feel like, and I would say a lot of people would agree with me, not supporting those democratic, so to speak, parties or, smaller political parties are trying to make a big change.
Wow.
I think this is the way that ISIS is trying to stop them and halt this and take over. I mean, I hate to say it, Afghanistan is still very fragile and getting through the war and getting through, the terrorism that it had to face right away in its own landing ground. And it's just sad to see it in Kabul, in the city, because the city has developed a lot since the war. A lot of people have invested from other nations to just keep helping Afghanistan. So it's terrible that there's still attacks occurring. And
my goodness. I don't know if you guys know a lot about it, but here's a quick recap via a package from Fox that we're going to play out for you just to get you in the loop of what's been going on. Listen here.
And a massacre. There is outrage, not only because of the high death toll and great number of injuries, but because an ambulance used to save lives was used to destroy so many. The explosive-laden ambulance made its way past a checkpoint in central Kabul after the driver told police he was taking a patient to a nearby hospital. Soon thereafter, he detonated the device. Most of the dead are civilians, but security forces were also among those killed. The area where the attack took place has government offices, embassies, and many shops. The force of the blast shook the capital.
I was in my shop when a powerful explosion rocked the area. All windows of my shop shattered.
I was sitting in the office. Right after the explosion, it collapsed.
The Taliban has taken responsibility for the blast. Reaction to the attack was swift. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson issued a statement saying, in part, the Taliban's use of an ambulance as a weapon to target civilians represents inhumane disregard for the people of Afghanistan and all those trying to bring peace to the country, and is a violation of the most basic international norms. Exactly 1 week ago, the Taliban killed more than 20 people at a Kabul hotel, including 4 Americans. ISIS is also trying to destabilize the country. On Wednesday, ISIS took responsibility for attacking the aid group Save the Children in the city of Jalalabad. In that incident, 4 people were killed. The latest attack will increase pressure on the Afghan government and the U.S. to combat militants in the country. The U.S.-led international military force in Afghanistan, meanwhile, says none of its members were killed in today's blast. In Jerusalem, David Lee Miller, Fox News.
David Lee Miller for Fox News there with the package. We heard the numbers of the people who died. Quite sad.
Quite sad, very.
So we've been kind of watching that, and I wanted to bring that up just as a news headline item before we go over to Sarah Sanders. Like you guys are mentioning on the stream, she is a little bit late, not abnormal for this White House press briefing. This happens quite often. I want to show you, we have some other kind of video chunks together. Let me give you a little preview of President Trump's State of the Union. Here's a little package put together because that's coming up tomorrow. His first one. I remember in the Obama era seeing the cars zip down Pennsylvania Avenue to the Capitol for him to make the address and then come back. You know, he just goes off and it's a whole procession. I mean, not like we don't see that on a normal basis in DC. It's sort of normal to see the motorcade and whatnot, but it's, I actually remember because I was working at the time on Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest and right between the White House and the Capitol, so I remember seeing it and noticing it. I knew that it was happening that Tuesday night, and I remember it was a normal thing to see Obama come down and do that. So this will be his first, and I'm sure there'll be a ton of analysis before and after, as we already have, you know, one of our reporters, kind of Tom Fitzgerald, I think, is on precursor to the State of the Union, and then I'm sure there'll be some after analysis as well. So let me just show you a quick package on that, and we'll get you up to speed to what to expect tomorrow.
Talk about how America's back.
From Capitol Hill Tuesday night, President Trump delivers his first State of the Union address.
He's going to talk about where we are today as far as growing an economy that now has the lowest unemployment rate in 17 years, an economy that has the lowest unemployment rate among African Americans and Hispanic Americans.
Jay-Z offered his take on the president's record in that regard, saying President Trump is, quote, looking down on a whole population, and you're so misinformed because these places have beautiful people. The president responded Sunday morning on Twitter, writing, quote, somebody please inform Jay-Z that because of my policies, black unemployment has just been reported to be at the lowest rate ever recorded. Meanwhile, there are concerns the ongoing special counsel investigation into Russian interference in the presidential election is distracting from the president's primetime address.
I think it's important to understand that the president cannot directly fire Mr. Mueller.
Lawmakers Sunday offered their support of Robert Mueller's investigation after reports claim President Trump considered firing him.
Well, last time you and I were together, I told my Republican colleagues, leave him the hell alone, and that's still my advice.
Lawmakers from both parties are pushing bills that would make it more difficult for the president to fire a special counsel. They've not received much traction on Capitol Hill and would require the president's signature anyway. At the White House, Rich Edson, Fox News.
So that's Rich Edson for Fox News. A little recap about what's been going on in the Trump world. For some reason, I'm not surprised that he had a conversation with Jay-Z over Twitter. I mean, Trump, the ever entertainer, the I'm in the entertainment world, gone politics. I mean, anything really goes. But did you guys catch those tweets or kind of know that he was conversing with Jay-Z? I forgot until I saw that again.
I saw it. I actually sadly have a notification when Donald Trump tweets. I just want to know what he's saying.
Yeah, and a lot of people do. I mean, millions of people in this newsroom do because they want to see what's going on.
And I saw Donald Trump for Jay-Z. I'm like, what is he talking about?
That's
so
right.
I just did a little investigation.
For some reason, I don't think it's abnormal for him to do that because that's the scene that he kind of wants to be / is in or was in. But that was interesting that he got right back to Jay-Z, who came out against him.
Right.
Saying that he's
got it kind of wrong with the population and African American communities in the nation, and just of course with unemployment, differentiation with the what do you call them? Sorry.
Right. Ethnic groups.
Ethnic groups, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we'll see what happens afterwards. But I'm still surprised he doesn't say anything about Eminem.
Wait, because
he never said anything about it.
Eminem came out with his new album, right? And it was blatantly divisive, and it was blatantly
that video too that he did, the first video before the album, right? It was like directly at.
I'm surprised too. Oh, it looks like Sarah Sanders just popping up. Let's go over to the White House briefing, guys.
Weekend, the White House released a framework for responsible immigration reform that will protect our people, put the interests of American workers first, and provide a permanent solution to DACA. Our framework includes 4 pillars: border security, including the wall, DACA legalization, ending extended family chain migration, and eliminating the visa lottery, moving us toward a merit-based system of immigration. We look forward to working with Congress to pass and sign legislation that addresses each of these 4 pillars. Looking ahead to tomorrow, as you know, the President will deliver his first State of the Union address. The theme of the address is building a safe, strong, and proud America. which is exactly what the president has worked to do during his first year in office. I don't want to get ahead of what the president will say during his remarks, but it will obviously be must-watch TV. But I do want to make an announcement about one of the most important traditions, the guest who will be sitting in the First Lady's box. I'll name a few of those individuals and a little bit about them. First, Corey Adams. Corey's a skilled welder at Staub Manufacturing Solutions in Dayton, Ohio. Last year, Corey and his wife were able to become first-time homeowners, and they will invest their extra money from the Trump tax cuts into their 2 daughters' education savings. Elizabeth Alvarado, Robert Minkins, Evelyn Rodriguez, and Freddie Cuevas. These two couples are the parents of 2 beautiful young girls, Nisa and Kayla, who were brutally murdered by MS-13 gang members. Corporal Matthew Bradford. In 2007, Corporal Bradford stepped on an IED while deployed in Iraq. He was blinded by the blast and lost both of his legs. After multiple surgeries and therapy, he became the first blind double amputee to re-enlist in the Marines. John Bridgers. Mr. Bridgers founded the Cajun Navy in 2016, a nonprofit rescue and recovery organization that responded in 2016 to flooding in South Louisiana and in 2017 to Hurricane Harvey in Texas. He and his team have helped thousands of people across the South. David Dahlberg. Mr. Dahlberg is a fire technician who saved 62 children and staff members from a raging wildfire that encircled their camp in Southern California. Officer Ryan Holitz. Ryan serves as a police officer in Albuquerque, New Mexico. In his 6 years on the force, he has been shot twice and experienced several near-death encounters. Officer Holitz and his wife adopted a baby from parents who suffered from opioid addiction, breaking down walls between drug addicts and police officers to help save lives. Ashley Leppert. Mrs. Leppert rescued dozens of Americans during last year's devastating hurricane season. Agent C.J. Martinez. Agent Martinez is a special agent for ICE's Homeland Security Investigations Unit. His investigations have led to more than 100 arrests of MS-13 gang members who were prosecuted for crimes including homicide, assault, and narcotics and weapons trafficking. Staff Sergeant Justin Peck. Last year, Staff Sergeant Peck was part of a team clearing IEDs from territory previously controlled by ISIS. When one of his compatriots was struck by a blast, he rushed to their side, saving their life while risking his own. Preston Sharp. Mr. Sharp has organized the placement of more than 40,000 American flags and red carnations on soldiers' graves as part of his goal to honor veterans in all 50 states and to challenge others to join the Flag and Flower Challenge. Steve Staub and Cindy Keplinger. These siblings started Staub Manufacturing Solutions 20 years ago. Thanks to the Trump bump in the economy, they were able to grow to new heights in 2017, and thanks to the Trump tax cuts, they were able to give all of their employees larger Christmas bonuses. Some of these individuals' stories are heroic, some are patriotic, others are tragic, but all of them represent the unbreakable American spirit and will inspire our nation to continue growing stronger, prouder, and more prosperous. And with that, I will take your questions. John.
Sarah, the news came down in the last hour that the Deputy Director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, is stepping down. And we get reaction from the White House, and is the President back at the end of December was tweeting about Andrew McCabe in a less than effusive praise manner. What's he thinking about him stepping down?
Look, we've seen the numerous reports, as all of you have, and any specifics, I can tell you none of this decision was made by that of the White House, and any specifics I would refer you to the FBI, who I believe will be making a statement later today.
You say that the White House was not involved in the decision, but clearly the President seemed to be involved in a public relations campaign against McCabe.
Oh, look, the President stands by his previous comments, but in terms of the situation today, as I just said, we've seen the reports just as all of you have. We don't have any specific comments, and I would refer you to the FBI for any specifics on the things that are taking place today. Jill?
Sir, so when you say that you've seen the reports, does that mean that the President was not informed by anyone at the FBI that this was happening? Has he had any conversation with anything there?
No, he hasn't. Cecilia.
Sir, can you say definitively then that the President did not play a role in Andrew McCabe stepping down?
Yes, I didn't say the President wasn't part of this decision-making process, and we would refer you to the FBI, where Christopher Wray serves as the director, which, as I said last week, and I'll repeat again today, the president has full confidence in him and has put the decisions at the FBI in his hands.
And did the president at any time convey that he wanted to fire Robert Mueller to anyone on the staff here?
Not that I'm aware of.
Thank you. So, and just to kind of finish this loop, so no one at the White House contacted the FBI about McCabe. No one has put any directives or even had any discussions about his tenure at the FBI. Did anyone at the White House?
Not that I'm aware of. Nothing specific to McCabe and his stepping down as of today, if that is what is being reported. Jim?
Sarah, what would you say to critics who believe that this White House and this president have had almost sort of a steady pressure put on the Justice Department, put on the FBI since the president came into office on this special counsel investigation, whether it be conversations with Jeff Sessions' office about his recusal, whether it be about this desire for Robert Mueller to go away, and now with Andrew McCabe. There were even reports that Rod Rosenstein was also feeling pressure from the White House. It sounds like there are multiple officials at multiple levels who are being pressured by the White House, by the president. What would you say in response to that?
I would say what I've said probably 100 times before, and continue. We'll say I'm sure 100 times today that the White House has been fully cooperative and is going to continue to be fully cooperative. In fact, we've gone above and beyond many times and certainly done everything that we could. The White House has provided over 20 witnesses and tens of thousands of pages of documents to the special counsel. We have done everything we can to be fully transparent, and we're going to continue to do that throughout the process.
But what about this notion that the president has been applying pressure for months, steady pressure?
The only thing that the president has applied pressure to is to make sure we get this resolved so that you guys and everyone else can focus on the things that Americans actually care about. And that is making sure everybody gets the Russia fever out of their system once and for all, that you are all reminded once again there was no collusion, and that we can move forward to focus on things like national security, the economy, and solving the immigration crisis that we have here in our country.
So no obstruction of justice, nothing improper, nothing inappropriate here at all whatsoever from the president since he came into office when it comes to this investigation.
No, and I think we've been pretty clear on that. Stephen?
So I have a question about the Nunes memo, but first I want to ask you if the president continues to have confidence in the man he appointed to be Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein.
As I've said, when you guys ask this question about number of individuals, when the president no longer has confidence in someone, you'll know. On the memo, you had another question.
I do have another question about the memo. The House Intelligence Committee could vote as early as today to release this memo that Chairman Nunes has reportedly crafted. The House rules contemplate that the president would then get 5 days to determine whether he has any cause to object to its public release. What's the current thinking? What's the current level of White House involvement in this decision? Can you shed any light on the process between this White House and Capitol Hill with this question?
Look, no one at the White House has actually seen the memo, so it would be hard for us to make a decision or to speak about it before that would take place. Right now, we're letting the House process play out, and if and when it's time for the White House to weigh in, we'll do that through the proper protocol, making sure we follow legal process. But again, we're not to that point in the process yet. Margaret.
Sarah, two questions. Well, just following up on that, is the White House, I know you said you have to wait and see, but is the White House open to the idea of a release of this memo to the public? And can you say in the State of the Union address whether the president will mention at all this ongoing Russia probe, which you said, you know, is really Russia fever that the country needs to get out of its system? Will he address it in any way?
To answer your first question, we want full transparency. It's what we've said all along, and we'll make a decision when and if that time becomes necessary. In terms of the State of the Union, I'm not going to get ahead of the president's address. It's tomorrow night. I know you are all excited and will eagerly tune in and can see at that time exactly what is going to be included.
But he doesn't feel a need to address it.
I think we've addressed it every single day that we've been here. It's one of the questions you guys ask over and over and over again. In fact, we spend more time on that than we do any other topic, despite the fact that time and time again, poll after poll says that, frankly, no one cares about this issue, and it's certainly not the thing that keeps people up at night. We'd love to talk about all of the things that do, and my guess is that will be the focus of the President's State of the Union tomorrow, April.
Two topics. Back on the State of the Union. Typically, when the presidents give their State of the Union address, particularly this his first, presidents normally are optimistic when they say the state of our union is. What is the state of our union today?
I think it's incredible, and I think that you'll hear that in the president's words tomorrow night. Look, we've got an economy that is booming. ISIS is on the run. We're remaking the judiciary in a way that actually believes in upholding the Constitution. There are some great things happening in this country, and I think you can expect to hear the president talk about a lot of those, not only what we've been able to do in the first year, but all of the great things that we're going to do in the next 7 years after this.
On the second topic, I want to go to this issue of black unemployment. One, is the president going to start targeting black unemployment as he's saying that unemployment has gone down over his watch? I've never heard of a targeted approach from this administration. And is this administration aware that the black unemployment rate from December, 6.8%, the white unemployment rate is 3.7%, the Asian unemployment rate is 2.5%, and the Hispanic unemployment rate is 4.9%. The black unemployment rate continues to be higher, and it's actually 2 times that, more than 2 times that, of the white unemployment rate. So is that something that this administration is touting, or they're trying to fix, make an active effort to fix in 2018?
Look, I think you can see from the steps that we've already taken that we're trying to fix unemployment for all Americans. That's the point that the president has made time and time again, is that he wants it to be better for everybody. And we've made significant progress in that, both through the number of regulations that have been cut to make this a more job-friendly market, a more job-friendly environment, and certainly adding to that the tax cuts and tax reform legislation that the president led on has been historic in what has happened and in the way that it has helped our economy and certainly helped create jobs across the country.
Why did he take issue with Jay-Z then, when he was just talking in terms of black America? He took issue, has he seen my black, and he screamed with caps, all caps, has he seen my black unemployment numbers?
Because they're better than they have been, and we're certainly making progress, and we want to continue to do that. Look, we want every day to be better than the day before. And again, certainly for Black Americans, for Hispanic Americans, across the board, this is a president who wants life to be better for all Americans, and he's going to keep fighting and pushing for that. And I think you'll hear him talk about that again tomorrow night. John?
Thank you, Sarah. The former Attorney General of the United States, Eric Holder, described Andrew McCabe as a dedicated public servant who has served this country well. Would the president, would you describe him in that same manner?
Look, I don't have a personal relationship with him, so I'm not going to describe him. I think we've talked about some of the concerns that we have with some of the actions that he's taken. But in terms of anything specific regarding the deputy director, particularly the news reports of today, I would refer you to the FBI. Francesca?
The president, based upon past tweets that he's put out regarding Mr. McCabe, does not seem to be a big fan of Mr. McCabe. Is he disappointed that he's leaving his post as the deputy FBI director?
I haven't asked him if he was disappointed. I can tell you he didn't play a role in any of that process, and again, would refer you to the FBI for any specifics. Francesca?
Thank you, Sarah. In one of the president's tweets in December, though, he did say that Andrew McCabe is, quote, racing the clock to retire with full benefits, 90 days to go. So does the president believe that Andrew McCabe should be allowed to retire with full benefits?
Again, I would refer you to the FBI for any specifics around the news of today of his stepping down.
I have a question about the State of the Union. You mentioned who was going to be in the First Lady's box at the State of the Union. You talked about a lot of the different guests, but I didn't hear anything about the president's family. Can you say which of the president's family members will be there? And can you also potentially preview for some of the travel that the president might take? Usually the president takes travel to push his agenda afterwards.
In terms of family, all of the president's children, along with the First Lady, will be at the State of the Union with the exclusion of Barron. I don't believe he will be attending as of right now. And in terms of travel, we will keep you posted on any scheduling announcements that we have over the week. Margaret.
Thanks, Sarah. I want to ask you a question about the 5G network, but also before I do that, Treasury is set, I believe the deadline is today, to release 2 Russia-related reports to Congress. Can you tell us whether that's actually going to happen today and whether the names on the oligarchs list will be public and on the impact on sanctioning? Will portions of that be public also?
We do expect the reports today, and I would refer you to the Department of Treasury for any specifics on that as that happens.
So if that's something you guys can coordinate, that would be really helpful. On 5G...
We're coordinating, and I'm telling you that they're taking the lead, and for questions specific to it, you should reach out to the Department of Treasury in terms of timing.
I'll let them know that you said they can tell us. On 5G, I know there's a lot of speculation about what might happen and whether there is a security case to make for one secure network, but some experts, including the Republican FCC chair, I guess, are a little concerned about the idea of one nationalized network. Can you bring us up to speed on whether that idea is dead or very much still alive, where that stands?
Look, as we outlined in our national security strategy, I believe it was actually on page 19, a few people will be proud of me for memorizing that. We discussed the need for a secure network. Right now, we're in the very earliest stages of the conversation. There are absolutely no decisions made on what that would look like, what role anyone would play in it, simply the need for a secure network. And that is the only part of this conversation that we're up to right now.
Just one network or multiple possible?
Look, there are a lot of things on the table. Again, these are the very earliest stages of the discussion period, and there's been absolutely no decision made other than the fact the need for a secure network. Dave?
Thanks, Sarah. Tomorrow night, will the president talk about an urban revitalization plan?
As I said before, I'm not going to get into the details beyond what was already discussed last week on the State of the Union, but I do think it's something worth tuning into for all to see. I'll take one last question, Hunter.
Thank you, Sarah. So the president has repeatedly touted black unemployment when faced with allegations of racism. Given those numbers, the low black unemployment, why do you think so many in the African American community are still so uncomfortable with the president?
That's a question you would have to ask them, but we hope and pray and expect to spend every day working to build a greater relationship within that community. And as I said before, with all Americans, this is a president who wants to lead for everybody. He's not looking to lead for any one person, any one group, but he wants to be the president of the United States. And I think that if you look at the policies that he has enacted over the first year, you can see that he's doing exactly that. He's building an economy that helps every American. He's cutting regulations that help every American. He's helping put ISIS on the run, which helps on the safety and security of all Americans. He's helping secure the border. He's helping to put an end to loopholes in our failed immigration system. All of those things benefit all Americans. That's what this president is focused on, and that's what we've done in our first year, and that's what we look forward to doing in the next 7 years. Thanks, guys.
I do. On the air. Next time I do it. It is handy in that way.
All right, y'all. So we'll give you there's a little inside look at the White House press briefing room when the reporters get up and do their live shots or whatever it is they're putting together for their stations post Sarah Sanders speaking from the podium. So let us know what you thought about that, if there's anything that stood out to you. Obviously, preempting the State of the Union tomorrow, we will have special information and more coverage of that. I know you've seen him before. Fitz, who's our political reporter, he'll be on that story coming in a little later tomorrow so they can stay late into the evening, and we'll see what Trump has to say in his first State of the Union address from the Capitol building. So some questions about McCabe, of course, came up. Some very diplomatic answers as we expected. If anything was out of the ordinary to you, let us know. Let us know what you think about that. But there's your look at the live briefing room.
Stations on your Edge Live Channel 2 will take you away from the White House and back to Capitol Hill to the House Intel Committee. They're meeting behind closed doors today on all matters Russia and
which is when we usually roll down the show, so we kind of stayed a little long before the
we are expecting that some of those lawmakers may step out, so we do have
but know that we do go later into the afternoon. There is a breaking
set up right now. We're going to bring that to you on your Edge Live Channel 2. That's Fox Source, and it is streamed
for the day to stream. So with that, guys, we're going to close it out from the DC newsroom. We'll catch you tomorrow. Remember, we come up at 11 for weather. A little bit of snow anticipated for tomorrow morning in the DC area, so you'll hear more about that if you join in on Mike's portion of the stream tomorrow, but it shouldn't be too much. And then we'll go into some news tomorrow before the State of the Union, but not all political tomorrow. We're going to make sure we keep it on the various topics of news, whatever we have that's breaking. You never know if there's going to be a car chase or anything else that we'll take to air. So jump in with us tomorrow. Feel free to connect with me on social media here, and you can follow all of our platforms, Fox 5 DC on all platforms. So from the newsroom, guys, that's it. Take care. We'll see you Tuesday, the 30th of January tomorrow at 11.